And welcome everybody to this new edition of GM Web3 MultiversX, like every Wednesday live on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Twitch. And you can find, of course, the replay on every podcast platforms. I'm very happy to have you. It was a good week, a hard week, a tough week in certain extent. We'll speak about a different topic today with my friends. Normally, Arno should join me very soon. But first of all, let me give you the program of today. First of all, we'll speak about the last update of Hatom Protocole with Arno. He will explain us everything. So if you have any question, feel free to ask in the comment section. And we'll try to figure out what's new on this update. After we'll speak about the tensions within MultiversX community, starting by yesterday chat, we can say, between Mihai and Ahmed from Hatom, but says a lot about how the community is divided at the moment. After we'll speak about xPortal, the last announcements of acquisition of Alpha Link, but also the launch of a native token. So we'll speak about it. We'll try to figure out what's happening. Is it good? Is it bad? Yeah, it raises more questions than answers, but we'll speak about it all together. After, we'll speak about Benjamin Thread trying to get attention from Musk, Trump, and David Sachs. Is it a good way to communicate or not? We'll have this chat all together. And you'll see we don't agree with my friends. So it will be interesting to debate about this. At the end of the space, we'll speak about the integration of MultiversX on Elisa OS, about AI agents. So we'll speak about the opportunity and the challenge of AI agent on MultiversX. So that's the program. It's interactive. Feel free to jump. Also, it's important for us. Please subscribe, follow, share the link to your friends, and yeah, activate the bell to be notified at every new video. And let's welcome my friends for today, starting by my co-host Arno. My dear Arno, how are you, my friend?
Hello, GRM, my dear GRM. I'm good. A bit tired, but very good. Very happy.
Okay, it will be a good Twitter space today. 1 hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So many topics to discuss about. I'm very happy to have you with me, like every Wednesday in the morning. We'll welcome Joaquim. Hello, Joaquim from GoPa Labs. What's up, bro?
Good morning. How are you doing?
He's
Very
back.
well.
I'm always here, lurking in a corner.
Yeah. So, and we'll welcome also Philippe from Autoscale, CryptoBay, Globies.
Myself. Hello, welcome.
Nine. Right? How are you?
Yeah, guys, nice to see you today. I mean, like a lot of things to discuss. I mean, like always they're lurking in a corner, and I'm here to talk the important subjects. So happy to be there.
I don't know why, but I want to add some music. And Tikapo. Hey, my Tikapo. What's up, brother?
Hey guys, how are you, boys? I'm fine, and you?
Wow, it's a full house this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, why am I taking like a Californian accent when you arrive? Hey, Tikapo, what's up?
Yo, bro.
What's those?
No.
And we also have Lucid. Hey, Lucid.
Whoa!
Hey guys, long time no see. How you doing?
Yo.
Hey, Lucid.
Very,
Yo.
very.
Hey guys.
Before we start, guys, $50 to be shared by 3 winners by our sponsors, EAPS, Hatom, AI Nexus. We'll speak about them during the live, of course. Quote tweet. No, don't quote tweet too hard. Just retweet, please. Okay, just like, retweet, and follow me. Yeah, it's gonna be easier to draw the winner. And yeah, I would like to start by a new sequence on GM Web3. And next time I will make you participate, because I just decided this like 3 minutes ago. But next time I will ask you to share your favorite meme of the week. So anytime during the week when you find a meme, of course related to MultiversX, that you like, please bookmark it, save it, and you will share it with me next Wednesday. Okay, I think it's very good to have fun on MultiversX, despite some tensions, some debates, some disagreement. We are all here, of course, for decentralization, money, speculation, okay, but to have fun. So I will share mine. I really loved it. And if you have any during the space, feel free to share it, but we'll do it every Wednesday. From the comment on the audience, feel free to share your favorite meme of the week, and let's have fun together. Okay, guys?
Sounds good.
So I will share mine. I really love it. No, really. If you just let's have a big shootout to Larry Cover, which is like one of the biggest OG of GM Web3, has been there for since the beginning, is a great meme maker.
What a great meme maker. What a great meme maker.
Definitely
In a tornado.
funny. Just if you have a look, I think I can make it big. Well, not really bigger, but you got it. You can see. So Benjamin, after the town hall, it was the storm. You can see the Bober that is welcoming people in a house of fire, and you can see Adam Bates on his chair, holding his cup of tea in a very British way. And you have this dog, I think it's Bud, a new meme coin on MultiversX, which is like watching like this. I don't know what he's doing, but I don't know. I think this meme coin is very cool. If you zoom a little bit, it's written "Welcome to MultiversX" on the white. Pas comment on dit, mais ouais.
On the bubble.
It's not a bubble. C'est une pancarte.
It's a sign. Okay, it's a sign.
Voilà, a sign. Voilà. So I don't know what you think, but it's funny, and I wanted to make this shout out to Larry Cover. So yeah, as I was saying, if you have any meme to share, feel free to do it in the comment. I will be able to share it on the live. It can be also, we can mention Bober and its artists Kajet and Paul, who are doing a great job in terms of memes. It's often very fun, very smart, and says a lot of things. So yeah, shout out to them.
They did one this week that was a bit bloody, but it was great.
Yeah, I criticized them for this, but let's not enter into this, because there's one thing I totally agree. I will share it, and it's not Bober, it's Bober Battle account.
Yes, it's Bober Battle.
It's pretty much the same, but I will share it here because definitely it's fun.
I saw this one also, yeah.
Just give me some minute to. Okay, low connection, but as you can see, they are using Squid Game to, let's denounce the other meme coins, which are just copycats, and they must all die. Whereas Bober is actually saying who is a good meme, who is not. Just my analyze. Anyway, if you have. No, the artist.
I wonder how much AI is there, to be honest. I mean, on what you showed us, I mean, I'm curious to because I mean, it takes time to do that if it's done by hand. Huh?
They are great.
You look at Boogas too.
Yeah.
And they have a team. They have several artists working all the time. And
it takes time to.
Yeah, actually, speaking to Rock about all the, because did you plan to have a shout out to the Boogas Trials?
No.
Okay, so I'm making the shout out to Boogas Trials now.
Let's go.
Because they deserve it. So Boogas has launched their new website. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and they released yesterday or the day before the Boogas Trials. So you can go in there on their website to discover the roadmap. There's a super cool universe. And you can take on the test to see how much you know about Boogas. It takes really it takes 2 minutes to do the Boogas Trials.
I did it, and I got 8 points.
Yeah, go. It's really cool. It's great. And so talking to Rock about the animation, and actually, so they have several artists that they curated over time working for them, and they plan everything months ahead so that they have everything created over time. Because as you said, Philippe, it takes time when you're not using, AI tools.
Or you need to create a library of stuff. So maybe they have 1,000 stuff. They just change the color. It's what they are doing with Boogas, I think. Also, they have different angles, and they have like the setup, like video games, like isometric video games, more or less.
Yeah. You have assets, and as time go, of course, you have more. So you can reuse, adapt, but it's.
And one day you launch an NFT collection with all the backpack or with all the haircut, and you make something that you can mix together.
Thank you
Don't say what they're gonna do, but shout out to Boogas.
Yeah, shut up.
Well deserved shout out, Ooga Booga, like Rock would say. Let's start the show, guys. We'll first start with Arno speaking about the last update of Hatom protocol. So to make it easier, I will just remove you from the screen. So we'll stay with Arno for this two people discussion about Hatom. But stay with us, and after you'll be able to ask question or anything. So Arno, let's start together.
Let's go.
I don't need to share the post screen, but I will share the post link in the comments so people can read the whole post. So Hatom is used to make very long posts. It's pretty rare, but when it's happened, it's long. So we'll try to understand what it is about. So first of all, can you briefly outline the main objective for this 10th protocol update, and why is it a crucial milestone for Hatom, Arno?
So we love to do our protocol updates because there's actually so much going on at the same time in Hatom. We are always building the present, but also the future, and sometimes the future a long time in advance. So protocol updates, you can discover where Hatom is headed short, mid, long term. This 10th protocol update is very important because I believe it realigns with the vision of, Hatom building a protocol, been building a protocol for now 3 years to create a place where people can take control of their own financial destiny. And this one is an important one because it is centered on the release of the USH stablecoin and the Booster V2 upgrade. So that's why it's important. You have dates, you have alpha on how it's going to work, both USH and Booster V2. It goes in details. I know this morning you don't want this to last for 45 minutes, so I will restrain myself. But yeah, this protocol update is pretty packed with alphas.
So we'll try to deep dive, not to deep, but to dive into this two posts. And first of all, and it's the main information, and thank you very much for putting it at the top of the post. So it's the most important thing for the community. Who is asking when all the time. I posted this morning something like, I think went are as much stupid as soon. I think guys, let builders build. But anyway, just just a personal note. So Ash is scheduled to go live on March 3rd. So what makes this stablecoin important for the ecosystem, and why the release has been postponed as far as I understood?
Okay, so I'll start with the first part of your question. Why is USH stablecoin important for the MultiversX ecosystem? There is a problem on MultiversX, is that we have no native stablecoins. So it means that every stablecoin has to be brought to MultiversX. And so for multiple reasons, this creates a stablecoin shortage of liquidity. So we are lacking stablecoin liquidity on MultiversX. And this has various impacts, both on the chain activity, the ecosystem activity, how projects can build. And so the creation of USH answers directly to this problem of stablecoin liquidity on MultiversX. So USH is, first of all, native to MultiversX. It means that it is going to be minted on MultiversX. And secondly, it is decentralized. So what this means for a stablecoin is that the minting, over-collateralizing, redeeming, burning, everything happens transparently on chain. So through the smart contracts that Hatom has been building for over a year. So that's why it is a big deal that USH is launching on MultiversX. It is long overdue that this ecosystem has a native stablecoin, finally. So that's to the first part of your question. And then you asked about delay, correct?
Yeah, because the community was expecting Ash release on February. To be completely honest, I don't know where they found this information. Maybe you gave it on the Telegram, maybe on a previous post. Well, to be honest, I don't know. But obviously, we can see that you precise in the post that you had to postpone the release for different reasons. Can you maybe give them to us?
So, to be transparency's sake, USH is ready to be deployed now.
Okay, let's go. No.
But we had a choice to make as to, do we want to deploy USH as soon as possible and just have it shipped, or do we want to have it deployed at the same time as the booster v2? And actually, we decided to deploy it with the booster v2 because the two modules synergize very strongly with each other. So we made this decision to wait for the booster v2 to be ready. And this is actually why it is taking a bit longer to be deployed, because the booster v2 is still under auditing until mid-February. So that's why it's taking a bit longer. I don't know if you want to deep dive in the booster v2 later on.
Just if it's possible, you know, if it's possible or not. But yeah, feel free to explain in a minute what is the booster and what brings the v2, just to be sure that everyone from the audience understand where we are going.
Okay, so the booster is a module that has been initially launched to add extra utility to the HTM token. So basically, the booster allows lenders, stakers in the HTM, in the Hatom protocol, to lock their HTM token in the booster and to benefit from added revenue through their yields coming back from the protocol revenue. So in the first version of the booster, the amount of HTM that you could lock up to boost your yield was capped. And so in the booster v2, we are adding a more competitive market to it, because we are uncapping the HTM lockup in the booster. So meaning you will be able to unlock 2 stages of additional yields. The first one is the base booster. So you will be able to access the base booster by locking a certain amount of HTM. And on top of this, after, it is uncapped. So the more HTM you have, the more you will boost your various positions. And I'm saying various positions because the booster v2 is going to be, at the release of USH and booster v2, is going to be deployed across the protocol. So you will be able to manage the HTM, allocating it to certain strategies, whether it's to boost your lending, to boost your USH staking. So you will decide where you will deploy your HTM to boost through the booster. And just very to finish off, the booster is a way to redistribute Hatom protocol revenue to people who are the best and biggest believers and users of the Hatom protocol. And why we decided to wait for booster v2 to be ready, it is because USH, through the USH staking, is going to unlock more revenue for the protocol, and almost all this revenue is going to be redirected through the booster to the HTM stakers.
Okay. On the post, you're speaking about audit. You're speaking about the new version of XExchange. So can you tell us more about the security audit? Looks like you had to do one more audit that was not planned, or maybe I did not understand.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actually what took longer than expected with the booster v2. USH is going to be integrated with other DeFi protocols of the ecosystem, so mainly XExchange and Swap at its launch. And so building those integrations, especially when XExchange was undergoing multiple changes over the last 6 months, meant that we had to wait for them to upgrade their protocol so that then we could make the booster v2 and integration with them. And so this has been an ongoing process. On their side, it took a bit longer than expected because they innovated and it took longer than expected. Then on our end, we had to develop. So it's been a back and forth. That's why we are having a secondary audit now, because within the integration of XExchange in the booster v2, you're going to be able to manage your energy, and so directly from the booster. So those integrations between the protocols, they need additional auditing, and so this is what is happening right now. And as soon as the audits will be back, we will see if there are things to fix. And
you mentioned a few weeks ago that you involved the community in a large aspect, liquidity providers, liquid stakers, liquid staking provider, staking providers, members from the community, whales, core team members, maybe, I don't know, to provide the initial liquidity for Ash. Why is it so important for you to get this liquidity? And did you achieve your objective? Did you reach your objective in terms of gathering this liquidity?
So we've seen an incredible support from what we could say core community members, whether you name them, whether they're validators, they're whales, they're project owners, they're people from the MultiversX Foundation, etc., etc.
You didn't ask me. Is it because I'm poor?
I don't know. You answer me. Are you poor, GRM? Are you poor in e-gold?
I think if I was rich, I would have received a DM from Arno. Hey, brother, we need to talk.
Because I reached out to UNESCO, so
He's much richer than me. Anyway, keep going.
I reached out to UNESCO for X cards. So we've seen an incredible push of support towards this initial liquidity bootstrap. So you can say that if you look at the number of EGLD that is available, the fact that we managed to get over 600k EGLD committed in this liquidity bootstrapping phase is absolutely extraordinary, and we're very thankful and humbled for the support. But obviously,
the EGLD is worthy 15, no 20.
Sorry,
price of EGLD at the moment?
Currently, yesterday it was 28 something.
28. So it's about $17 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, when
Okay, is it reached what you aimed for? What is your goal reached, or you need more, or is it perfect?
I don't know. It's sorry. It's we had an initial, like low amount that we wanted to surpass, and we've surpassed it,
Okay.
of course.
Okay.
So after, we didn't cap anything. If we could have gotten,
but there was a minimum, of course. Yeah. Okay. So we have a question in the comment about removing the fees on the bridge, and will hash liquidity be limited by the EGLD price? Can you answer shortly, or?
yeah. So just regarding the bridge, if you're talking about the MultiversX bridge, I didn't bridge in some liquidity for a few weeks, but a few weeks ago bridging in the fee was 0. So I don't know what fees you're talking about. Actually, bridging out costs a bit, but it's honestly not much. But bridging in, 0.
It's more. There's more problem of limit than fees, I think. Maximum.
The bridging out, depending on how many.
Yeah, he's talking about when you got out, definitely. And what about the hash liquidity limited by EGLD price?
So the way to mint USH, we mint it through an over-collateralized manner. So of course, USH is going to be collateralized by other digital assets. So it can be EGLD, it can be RapBTC, RapETA, ETH, and more. So obviously, the amount you can mint is directly correlated to the value of your assets. So, yeah, I mean, of course, if the price of EGLD goes down, you can mint less USH than if the price of EGLD goes up.
Okay, about you introduced the concept of hash proxy to increase yield through a delta neutral approach. Reminds me what you mentioned as the pulse thing in a previous post. Is it the same that you decided to rebrand, or is it something new?
It's the same.
Okay, so no pulse anymore. Now it's proxy.
Yeah, and we like the proxy part because it makes a lot of sense when you understand what the strategy is doing. We still have some internal discussion about is this a good name or not?
I think it's not. Actually, Pulse is so much marketable and so much like cool. Proxy like leads to technology, leads to political thing, leads to security. It's not marketable. It's my opinion as a marketer. I'm not a tech, it. But anyway, you decide. Just saying.
So no, but it's to say that it was Hatom Pulse a few months ago. It's now USH Proxy. Tomorrow it could be something else.
Okay, but the most important is what you will do with this feature. But we spoke about it before, so nothing new about this. Just a change of name.
I think actually, so USH Proxy is a very interesting strategy that we are looking into building as a product. And so this strategy is still in heavy research and development. I think compared to the last time we talked about, people maybe don't know this, but we have a separate team that has been working on research and development on this strategy for 3 months now. So those are new people that joined Hatom to work on this. And so USH proxy is still in research and development. So we talk about it because it is very promising, but it is still evolving, being optimized. Because as you know, we don't do things in a light way. So this product as with a high potential it has, it's still a product that is going to take time to be refined. So the idea behind the USH proxy, to make it very understandable and why it has loads of potential. It's on lending protocols. You have some assets, especially interest-bearing assets like SCGLD or staked ETH on other protocols like Aave, that are always underutilized. So it means that people lend those assets, but not very many people borrow those assets, because since they're interest-bearing, it's not easy to build, very profitable strategies on top of them. So the initial playground was this. It is, okay, you have a ton of liquidity that is sitting here doing nothing, that could potentially be of use. And so USH proxy starts from here, and basically leaning on a part of the interesting model that Itina has built. USH proxy would allow the user to say to the Hatom protocol, so I have this liquidity sitting here. I am okay with you leveraging this liquidity to activate it in a strategy to create more yield. Basically, by saying, yes, you can use this liquidity, the protocol would use, let's use SCGLD as an example. The protocol would use this SCGLD that is sitting idle, mint USH, with USH, for example, buy ETH, at the same time open a short position and farm the funding rates, the negative funding rates. So by doing so, the user would benefit from the lending position of his or hers asset, in this case, staked TGLD, and additionally, on top of this extra yield. Now, it has insane potential because it is a very versatile strategy that you can do with SCGLD, but you can do it with many other
We need
products.
to move on, Arno.
Yeah.
But sorry, but I think it's clear, and we spoke about it before.
You tell me.
Now it's clear. So guys, I will make our friends enter back in the space. If they have any question about it, they will ask them to you directly, Arno. Yeah, maybe Philippe, you had a question, or maybe you're here. You had a question, Philippe.
Yeah. No, it was really nice to listen to you. Thanks, Arno, for all the details. I mean, I'm really looking forward to have Ush. My question is like regarding the people that invested early into Ush. What were the conditions for them to lock it on I would say not an unknown amount of time, because I mean it need to be released and everything. But what convinced them, and what did you put on the table for them?
You mean for the liquidity providers?
Yeah.
So those liquidity providers have a deal with Hatom. Basically, they make a yield that is a 10% yield that they make in HTM, and the HTM that they will get for locking their liquidity. And this HTM is then handed out to them over a vested period.
Okay.
It's 3 months. So 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
Oh, that's nice. So okay, you didn't like mint any hash on top or touch
No.
liquidity?
So this is something that needs to be clear. Nobody can mint USH right now. The first USH that is going to be minted is going to be on the 3rd of March. Right now, you can't mint USH. So this liquidity is used to create extra rewards that will be distributed to USH LPs from day one.
Okay, and they get Atom on the other side for their
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks.
Thank you. Joaquim, Lucid, Tikapo, do you have any question about this last update? Yes?
Yeah, if you don't mind, guys. First of all, thanks Arno. It was very clear. I love the explanation. And as usual, we in MultiversX love Atom post, which is very detailed. My question is more on the expansion side of the stablecoin, as you said, because I think the launch of USH is very strategic. And if you look at the ecosystem and the others network, usually people are very interested in high yield stablecoin. For example, in the protocol, they announced some calculation, like I don't know, something like a 40%, 50% at the beginning. We don't know, right? It's just speculation. My question is, what about centralized exchange? Is there any business development with them? For example, on Binance, people can potentially see USH. They're going to be interested in the stablecoin. They're going to use xPortal. They're going to withdraw USH and use it in MultiversX. So means more users. What's the strategy on that? So not just for us.
Can you frame your question in a very direct way so I can answer it in the best possible way?
All the street long. Frame your questions, please.
Okay. What about Hush and centralized exchange and other ecosystem partnership?
Okay. So the yield that you can get through the USH staking pool, the staking module, is if you provide liquidity. So it means you pair your USH with one of the either one of the strategic other assets that will be heavily incentivized. So USH GLD, USH USDC, or USH USDT. Or we have many partners now that are going to create also USH LPs. You can bring in liquidity on those LPs. If you do that, you expose yourself to the potential yields that are baked in as incentives. So it can be, of course, the trading fees. It can be if the farm is integrated. If the LP is integrated as a farm, it is extra rewards. And then, of course, if it is one of the free strategic LPs, on top of this, boosted revenue from the HTM booster. So today, that's the priority at the launch. Deepening the liquidity on chain for USH. As for integration of USH with centralized exchanges, there are currently already some conversations, but I can't, since there's no single staking, or it would be more for an ease of onboarding people in the MultiversX ecosystem, as you said. So those are some conversations that we have right now. Regarding integrations, we have at launch integrations with XExchange and HashSwap. We also introduced in the protocol update that we are having an integration being built with xPortal for the xPortal card, allowing you to use USH to top up your card. So you can do your DeFi strategies, and then exit your some profits in USH and use this to through your card to do your everyday purchases through USH. So this is pretty cool. And we have some more coming. There's one integration that has been announced. It is with Autoscale, the yield optimizer that is going to be launched also at the start of this year. And we have a few more in plans that we haven't disclosed yet, but some of them are more advanced, some of them a bit less, so in the early stages. But yeah, that's the goal, integrating USH everywhere we can.
Okay, thank you very much, Arno, for this overview. I hope it's clear for everyone. If you have any question, of course, you can send a DM to Arno or to comment his post. Him or any other ambassadors you have. Davey, GLD, you have X Robert, who came back on X. That's great news. And La Banane, if you speak French, he can also explain everything to you on Twitter. And you can also join the Telegram of Hatom if you have any questions. And let's take the opportunity to thank Hatom for supporting this Twitter space for months now. And they are offering rewards in HTM for you guys. All you have to do is to like, retweet, and follow GM Web3 so you can be eligible to the draw. The Hatom Telegram, Arno, if you have a minute, please put the link in the comment to answer to Epic Python about the link of the Telegram. If you can do this, would be great. Thank you very much. Let's speak a bit about what happened yesterday after the release of this update. Mihai, the CEO of XOXNO, but also a project of ticketing, but also Bober, a meme coin, but also soon a DeFi protocol. Well, he's building many things on MultiversX. Some of them are very cool, let's be honest. They had a chat with Ahmed, and the tone was not pretty good. To summarize, and of course, correct me, Arno, or you guys, if you follow this. Mihai reproached a little bit that you mentioned the flash loan. The open source, the code is not open source yet on Hatom protocol, and he threatened to reveal things about Hatom. To this, Ahmed answered in a very calm way, saying we can work together. The ecosystem is too small to fragment the liquidity. And yeah, Mihai answered, we'll be speaking when the code is open source, when there is transparency with your liquidity. Well, in a very mean and arrogant way, in my opinion. But let's be objective today. So I don't know if you guys follow this. I will put the link of the discussion in the comments so you guys can make your own opinion. And yeah, maybe Arno first, because you're concerned. We can say that you are part of a Hatom team. So what do you think? I put the link on the comment. What do you think about this way of competing? And maybe can you explain what Mihai was talking about in his post? And after, of course, Tikapo, Joaquim, Philippe, if you want to say a thing about this, feel free to jump in. Yeah, Arno first.
So I'm not going to put, first of all, I'm not going to put words in Mihai's mouth. He reacted, the way he reacted. What I perceived from his reaction is that he felt that Hatom was kind of judging some of the features that XOXNO is building. And actually, if you read the protocol update, we are absolutely not judging in any way what is XOXNO building. We're just providing information because our community asked us about those type of features. And the features that we're talking about in the protocol update, so the flash loan, adding LP in LPs in the lending protocol, actually those things are not new to Hatom. They have been studied, debated internally, and some of them we decided not to build them. I say we here, but this was decisions made even before I joined. Flash loans in DeFi are nothing new, it's just for certain reasons that are explained actually in the protocol update, Hatom, and it is Hatom. So XOXNO can try stuff. We're absolutely not saying that it's bad that they do, but for certain reasons, Hatom decided not to prioritize those features, and those were explained in the protocol update, and it triggered a reaction from Mihai. Now, you know what? We want, and dare I say we as Hatom, we want the MultiversX ecosystem to grow. Like, we want the DeFi ecosystem to grow, because if it grows, we all grow. USH is a stablecoin that is fully decentralized, so everybody will see how it is minted, over collateralized on chain. So it is built for the ecosystem, not just for Hatom, and we're building integrations with everybody. We're literally talking to every project out there to make sure that USH has an insane impact on the ecosystem as a whole, increasing liquidity. The liquidity issue is like, I'm going to make a metaphor. A harbor, where ships come in. MultiversX ecosystem is a harbor with a low amount of water, because there's low amount of liquidity, meaning that the big ships can't come in this harbor to enter and commerce or do stuff. So we need to increase the liquidity in the harbor. USH is how we increase the liquidity in the harbor, and tomorrow we will have, with this deeper liquidity, more opportunities, more on-chain activity, and this will grow the entirety of the ecosystem. This is what we focus on. Yesterday, Ahmed reacted to Mihai with an open hand, saying, okay, you know what, whatever beef that we might have, like, the goal here is to grow the ecosystem. So let's try to work on something out. The open source part. So of course it is a conversation that exists, but
It's planned.
Just to disclose a few things. It's sorry.
It's planned to be open source.
So yeah, first of all, it's completely in the vision of Hatom to open source. It was also said yesterday in the protocol update, make it open source, make it immutable in the future. 100%. This is the vision. First of all, having strategic DeFi protocols that are building some new things, not being open sourced, is nothing new. You have other protocols on other chains that are doing new things that are working in the same way. But just to talk and add a bit of transparency to the community here, even if the code is open source, many stakeholders within the MultiversX ecosystem have access to Hatom's code. The MultiversX Foundation have access to Hatom's code. HashSwap has access to Atom's code. Every project that we're working with have access to Atom's code. Core stakeholders within the ecosystem have access to Atom's code. So whenever we become close to people, either because we work with them, either because they're interested in helping Atom, whether it's for an investment or other, we open our code and we give access. So it's not like, only a few auditing firm have access to our code. It's not like that. XExchange team has access to Atom's code. So of course, it is not open to everyone, but every key DeFi stakeholder in the ecosystem has access to Atom's code.
Okay, just to clarify all the points, they threaten in the comment Hatom to reveal some things. Of course, the community is curious to know what is it about. Is there anything that you would like to say about this?
No, not especially. I mean, I'm not here to. We want to build, we want to grow, and this, just go and read, the paper that Foudre was commissioned to make and to create, to dig into Atom, and that after he revealed I think it was a few months ago now, I don't know, time flies so quickly.
It was in November, and I will share the post that Foudre made about this, so people can know what is it about. It's on X. I will share it if people wants to read this. But yeah, it was a few months ago now.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, we want to move forward. And when I say we, I'm talking about Atom. XOXNO has decided to enter the DeFi space. It's great. We want to build. So we're looking forward to see how they build, what their product, brings to the scene in MultiversX. And as Ahmed said yesterday, we're open to working with everyone, especially if in the end it's going to help grow the MultiversX ecosystem.
Okay. So in the order, it was first Tikapo had a question or remark about this. Tikapo?
Yeah, not especially a question, but let's make a statement about what's going on into the ecosystem with a lot of dramas and so on right now, especially on the DeFi part. I will just add something on that point. Like, we have a small ecosystem and we have a DeFi that's was about to explode. Let's say it because we haven't any kind of great, let's say, utility and protocol at the moment live on the mainnet to be able to do all the operation like AAV and so on. We have two great builders.
What are you saying?
Let me just finish about that. We have two great builders here about Ahmed and Mihai. Even if I can see the drama, the reaction of Mihai about Atom and so on, and let's say Thunder, the hand Thunder to by Ahmed to Mihai to build together, we have different, let's say, vision. They are conflicting here. Like on that part, you have Atom, as you said, Arno, where they come here and do new stuff on MultiversX, but that's already available on other chain. And XOXNO doing the same thing. The only differences is between the founders when you have someone who is let's say hard builder and thinking about all the code are being to being, let's say, open sourced, and you have Atom that want to build their stuff. You said if you are in partnership with Atom, the code can be open. Understand that part, but from this kind of vision of hardcore builder, it can be let's say, seen like we are doing stuff in our part, we are in competition with them, we will not give access to our repository. That's the point. So we now can make a, let's say, statement with your explanation, with the text we saw on the Twitter posts. Now, those guys need to build their tools in the protocol. We are so tiny, we don't have time for this kind of drama and so on. Now, we will bring new utilities. Then, as you say, Arno, the Atom team decide to not do flash loan and so on. XOXNO doing it. Focus on your part, let XOXNO do their part. And I think maybe when everything will be live into the mainnet, and when I said earlier, not everything is live on the mainnet of MultiversX to do all we can do with a DeFi protocol like Aave, I mean a complete ecosystem. You know, not the basics. I know Atom already published something on the mainnet, but this will be the finality where you will have Atom with all these solutions, and then XOXNO with those one to finish with a complete DeFi ecosystem into the chain. And that's what we all want into that. That's it. That's all. So that's why I think we don't have to lose time and energy with that. We already have a lot of things to cover about the direction on MultiversX and so on, and we'll talk about that later with xPortal and so on. That's drama for nothing. Let's building. Everybody choose their path, and the ecosystem will grow after that. That's what I have to say.
If I may, Tikapo, you said that we didn't have major DeFi protocols like Aave whatsoever, and that's why I reacted with a what. I mean, you have a DeFi protocol that is Hatom that has over $200 million TVL on a chain that has no native stablecoin.
Yeah.
And this protocol has been live for now. It's going to be close to 2 years. So you have a major protocol that when you look at what Aave is proposing and what technically Hatom is proposing with the arrival of USH, it is like,
okay, got it. That's your point. So maybe we have a miss.
it's not my point. It is what
Okay,
on-chain data is showing. I mean, Hatom is a live protocol that has been live for now a long time on MultiversX, and it is the beating heart of the DeFi, and we're giving everything we can to make sure that DeFi is growing on MultiversX. And please, just at some point, you need also to value that if a protocol like Autoscale is actually launching, it's because Hatom protocol is heavily investing resources into building DeFi on MultiversX. If volumes, stablecoin volumes, and future on-chain activity, arbitrage, all of this activity and this ecosystem is going to continue growing, is because Hatom is investing so many resources to keep growing.
I got it. And I don't say they don't do it, but I said a complete ecosystem. So everybody, you talk about Autoscale, that's the point. They are building on the top of it. And they will have a complete solution being live. And maybe with Ush, the most complete one live on the mainnet. No problem about that. I don't say they don't do it. But they are a part of a complete ecosystem, and XOXNO is a part of it, if we like it or not. That's it. And
Okay.
everybody
I wasn't saying anything about XOXNO. I mean,
I know. Just to be straight in my word, like I don't say they don't build anything, but at the moment, for me, that's not a complete. It will be with Ush and at Autoscale building on the top of it. Yeah, that will be a complete solution.
I think it's clear, but because we were transparent about role, Atom Arno role in Hatom team, we need to, of course, inform our listeners that you, Tikapo, recently partnered with XOXNO to present their DeFi protocol.
Yeah, clearly.
Everybody is aware of this, but I, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, Hatom did not say the contrary to what you say. They give their comment on dit tendre la main? give their hand toward Mihai to build this complete ecosystem that you are calling to. I have the feeling that in front of them, guys don't want to co-build, but this is maybe just the way Mihai is writing, and maybe this is just the form and not the substance. But I believe what I read.
I know. And I said that, just to finish, I said that maybe you don't have to reply in this way. I said give a hand to him. That's the point. After that, they will make their path. And I'm sure the multiverse ecosystem will start to be, let's say, more bigger than ever after that. But, that's part of a life of an ecosystem, and drama is a part of it. So we express ourselves. That's it.
Joaquim, you wanted to jump in this conversation. Let's go.
Yes, I think it's a very interesting and healthy conversation. As I say, I've always going to defend, and I'm supposed to be the less libertarian here, but I always say that competition is a healthy thing and should always be prone and promoted. So there's a few topics. First, I would like to clarify something you said, GRM, is Ahmed didn't say we can't afford fragmented liquidity. He said we can't afford a fragmented ecosystem, which obviously is very different, because saying fragmented liquidity would underscore that like he just wants everyone to use Hatom.
Thank you very much.
So just want to clarify that part. I'm going to go discuss mostly about the open source part. One of the complaints of Mihai is that the code of the liquid staking provider done by Hatom took the code given by the core team, made modifications to it, and is now closed. And I'm not sure which license the code from MultiversX is, but a lot of the licenses used in smart contracts, etc., tend to have the fact that if you contribute, if you do change, if you fork it, you're actually supposed to contribute back to it by giving those additional features. And the second part, as Arno was saying, it's great that they're working with partners by giving them access to the code so they can know the endpoints, the API files, to be able to get notified about changes, etc., which makes building and interacting with the smart contracts much more easier. Well, ideally it should be accessible to everyone. You shouldn't have, and that's the whole point of permissionless blockchain, you shouldn't have to knock on someone's door and saying, please, can I get your code so I can find the endpoints I need for it. Everyone should be able. So a less famous product than Autoscale, someone who wants to do similar to Autoscale, should just be able to look at the code. And for me, that is where I agree with it, and it's a general thing we have in Web3, is that like open source is something we look for, is something we trust, because obviously if there was to be, even if there's been audits, etc., there's still a chance that there is a bug, there's an exploit possible in the code. Obviously, open sourcing it is a double-edged sword, meaning that if a bad actor finds it, he can exploit it. If a good actor finds it, he can notify you. But is in the idea of building together and improving together. And so, again, I understand that as soon as it's live, maybe not open source it, but it should always be a vision to do it as quickly as possible for people to be able to contribute. And I think that is the fair ask. I feel like there's a lot of topics that kind of like get brought in together, as we were talking about the article with food, etc. But this part is a part that I actually stand with.
Okay, Philippe, you wanted to jump in? Oh, I muted you because of your noise. Yes. Now you can speak. Sorry.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly, and we can see you. And the quality is not because the quality was very bad a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I get some problem with my internet connection, to be honest.
Now it's perfect.
Yeah, it's fine. No, what I wanted to say about that, I mean, like, okay, there's drama, but that's always the point. But me, what I can say with my experience working with Hatom through Autoscale, at least Countdown is working in closer relationship with them, is like if you create a solution that can be interoperable with Hatom, they will open their arms, show you the code,
First
give you
of
access.
all, I'm sorry, just a disclaimer to be fair. You work with Autoscale,
Yeah.
which is a partner with Hatom,
Exactly.
which got a grant from
Also.
Hatom.
But the timeline is important. That means that we started to discuss with them about the solution. They know that we wanted to integrate it. They give us access to it. They saw the serious of the team and the result after a few weeks. And then things go further, and we get support by them.
I just want to be fair to every.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean,
mentioning. Sorry to interrupt.
I don't have point hiding that. That's not the point. But the thing is, like, if you create a solution around their solution, they help you, and that's the point of blockchain. After, you don't want to disclose the open source code because you don't want someone to take just the code and release fast and quick before you and take more or less the market while you created the technology. So for me, it doesn't make sense to release for Atom to release the open source code or whatsoever before the release. I mean, I don't think that, for example, anyone here, even Joaquim, will release open source code of his logistic protocol before to have the product running.
Yeah, but he's talking about the liquid staking, which has now been live for a year mostly.
Yeah, but still, it's something that need to work. They are like
staking is open source.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but because they don't really care in terms of competition, I think. I mean, you're not scared that someone take it and do it. It's already live. With the Hush, it's different. You don't want that there is another stablecoin that arrives before you.
No, but it could be also, you know, with there's not just the liquid staking. There's also the lending protocol, etc. But we can say that other lending protocols exist on other blockchains, and you know, in practice, what we're doing is no different than a user who is lending on another blockchain. But the truth is, Hatom was the first one to build it on MultiversX, meaning that there was a lot of research and development to make sure that building the complex money market dynamics is something that, you know, is research and development. It has value. So of course, open sourcing everything is a discussion of transparency, but also a discussion of, you know, competitiveness, intellectual property, and so in the future it's going to be disclosed, but for now that's the decision that Hatom is going for.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine with that. I think we all agree.
Guys, this discussion around open source is very interesting, and the toxicity of this topic says a lot about what's happening on MultiversX. So I think it's not just what happened yesterday. It's more like a background of what's happening between different part of the ecosystem. So that's why I think it's interesting. We will receive Ahmed, sorry, CEO of Hatom, who wanted to join. And just to be fair to everyone, of course, if Mihai, XOXNO CEO, hadn't blocked me, he would have been welcome to this Twitter space. But that's the consequence when you decide to block people. If you don't talk, we talk for you. So let's welcome Ahmed, who wanted to say a word about this because he's concerned. Hello, Ahmed. What's up?
Hey, everyone. How are you?
Good. Very good. So we're talking about your last discussion with Mihai about open source, about the last update. So we will not say again what's been said before, but you wanted to intervene in the space. So let's go.
Sure. So I just wanted to participate a bit and say a couple of words because there were like multiple things that were like completely false about like what were said actually. So for us, like for the lending protocol, we didn't use like any code that was like provided by the MultiversX team. So basically, like the MultiversX team could be able to confirm that we built like our solution from scratch, actually. And if actually any code was available that would have been allowed people to deploy like their own lending protocol, we would have seen like a multitude of lending protocols like being deployed pretty fast on the ecosystem. And even for us, like whichever person or partner like requested access to the code had access to it. So the MultiversX Foundation has access to the code. Mihai at the beginning had also access to all our repositories, including like the lending protocol. And for us, like the development of the lending protocol itself required like a really huge amount of work, not only related to the smart contract part. So when we launched, there was like zero solution to be able to fetch any price data. So we had to build like our own price oracle infrastructure, which is like pretty complex. And we also provided like access to all those infrastructure and their code to the different partners again. So we also like shared that with Umbrella when they were like building their own solution and tried to help them to make it like even more fast.
Umbrella is an oracle on MultiversX.
Exactly, yeah. So this is like just related to the point that was like mentioned about the fact that we just use like the code of MultiversX, made like a quick tweaks, and then deployed that. So on our side, let's say that I prefer to not answer. You see, like on X, to not fuel. You see, like the FUD and expand, let's say, the drama. But just wanted to make like this specific point crystal clear for everyone.
Yeah, it is very interesting what you're saying, because as we can see on the GitHub repo of MultiversX, with a last update about 2 years ago, there is a lending smart contract that hasn't been used by anyone else. So you didn't use that, just to clarify. You actually started from scratch, is what you're saying.
Yes, not at all, actually, because like those smart contracts are not like, let's say, complete to be able to build the lending protocol that we have deployed. And for the liquid staking, we use that as a base, made like multiple modifications on top of that.
Philippe, your mic, please. Philippe, your mic, please. Sorry, Ahmed.
No worries. For the liquid staking solution, we indeed like use the base that was like provided by MultiversX. It is a base, but we added multiple like optimizations on top of it, multiple like features, and with like our own logic to be able to build our solution. Our code regarding like liquid staking is open source, and for us that was like always the goal. So once we make sure that our solution are withstanding like the test of time, that we are like confident with what we did, that we performed like enough audit, the goal was to then move on to an open source approach, basically. So this is what we did for liquid staking. As for the lending protocol, this is the next thing that we have on the pipeline. But what needs to be understood here and to be taken into consideration is that we are talking about protocols that are like managing hundreds of millions of dollars of liquidity from different users. So we don't have, you see, like protocols who doesn't have like any liquidity and you see like doesn't constitute any risk for the ecosystem. So it's not like the same situation. So for us, we need to make sure that we are like confident with the code itself, that it was able to withstood the test of time to be able to move on to the open sourcing step. But that was like always part of our roadmap regarding that.
GM, I feel we should invite Ahmed again, and maybe some other builders, to have a discussion about exactly like what you said, when you release a new product with smart contracts, especially when with user funds, what should be the steps when it comes to security, but also about the upgradability, how this is managed. I think that would be a very interesting talk, especially with Ahmed.
Sure, of course. And for us, just to give you like, for example, an additional example. So regarding like the lending protocol, even right now, we have some changes that are like performed on different modules. So on the controller, on the price oracle too, on the money market, that's like related to USH. So for us to be able to open source, you see, like those modules, we need to make sure that they have been audited enough and that the code is, let's say, frozen on our side to be able to move on with that step. So it has always been a matter of security and stability to be able to reach that. And
Thank you, Ahmed, for this precision. Of course, I can't let you leave without asking you about what Mihai is threatening Hatom from revealing. The community, of course, read the post of Mihai saying, you should be glad that I don't reveal everything. There are some things that I can't tell. Okay, so of course, creates some hypothesis. Can you tell what do you want to answer this? Either to reassure or just to say, okay, reveal it and we'll speak about it. What's your position about this?
To be honest with you, like I don't have like anything to comment on this. So what I think is, like, there is nothing that there is like no bad debt, like no position that is like at risk. Those are like just some threats that he's like trying to make, and there's like nothing to be shared. Actually, if he had like something to share, like he would have shared it. Like, we're in constant discussion with the MultiversX Foundation. They are like aware of everything. They have access like to our code and of the state of the ecosystem. So yeah, on our side, we don't want to focus on any drama or anything like this. We are like fully focused on our development, and yeah, like we weren't the first like protocols to be launched, but you've seen the impact that we have been able to have like on MultiversX. So, and it's not like the first product or like the first project that received, let's say, those types of attacks on the ecosystem. So we were not the first, and yeah, we might not be the last. How about that?
Yeah, I always mention that Hatom is just one of many others before, and I can tell it. It can be from Frame It, can be from Coco, can be from Be Hero, and you know what, guys? Things are starting to be revealed because the less people have to lose, the more they talk. So yeah, unfortunately today it's Hatom, but you know what? Every time Mihai sees someone that can like take some part of market share, he does the same thing. But anyway, it was interesting to have your point of view and on the philosophical with the open source strategy, but also about the technical aspect of the flash loan and so on. If you want to add anything, Ahmed, feel free to do it, and if not, we'll move to the next topic.
Sure. So what I can add really briefly is that, like, from our side, how we see the current situation of the ecosystem is that we are going through a pretty harsh period. So that's why, like we said, that we can't afford to have a fragmented ecosystem. So, like, in reality, like, we don't need to work with anyone, or let's say with Mihai, like, specifically, or to find synergies. Like, he doesn't have like any liquidity for the moment, but our goal and our approach is to have good relationships with everyone and see how we can like create something positive and good for the ecosystem. So some people, like, their marketing approach is to attack others. So we prefer not to focus on that and to focus on what matters, our products. And yeah, we have a lot of work that we're like constantly doing. So we
have insanely good relationships with
occupied.
Guys, don't speak.
Yeah, sorry, I thought
it's okay, Arno. Let's go.
I thought Ahmed finished. Sorry, but we have insanely good relationships with every project in the ecosystem. We are around USH. We reached out to everybody, and we are with many projects that have been here for a long time, and have showed, you know, they passed the test of time, as Ahmed said. And today they have tokens that that are used. They are integrated with USH, and we are building synergies so that we can strengthen all the MultiversX ecosystem for this. So, I mean, at some point, you know, we just focus on growing, as said, and we are positive builders, and that's what we want to do. So it is Web3 space is already a draining space as it is. And I mean, this is literally losing time in politics and conversations that don't add any value. So yeah.
Exactly. This is always the same.
Thank you very much, guys, for your takes. Ahmed, I will. You can stay with us if you want. If not, we will wish you a very good day. Just let me know if you are staying or not, because now we speak about xPortal and the acquisition of Alpha Link. You need to go, or can you stay? It's up to you.
So I will try to stay. I will try to stay like for a bit, actually.
Let's go. So let's speak about xPortal. It's the core wallet. They're independent, but it's a core wallet of MultiversX, but they are independent. And they announced a few days ago about the acquisition of a startup. I think it's a German startup, which name is Alpha Link, which was supposed to be an all-in-one app to track every digital assets from exchanges, wallets, and many blockchains, many cryptos, and all the things. And yeah, so they acquired this startup. They announced it, and on the post, on the announcement, they spoke about the launch of an incoming native token. So created a lot of speculations, some criticized, some were enjoyed the announcement, and they organized a Twitter space to answer the questions. We are still waiting for answers, but they had this Twitter space. So I would like to speak with you about the announcement, the acquisition, about the native token, and yeah, about what you think about this. Who wants to start? Joaquim, yes, let's go.
Yeah. So it's very interesting for me, and it's I've had very long discussions with Davey GLD about this. Is that, as you say, xPortal is a different entity, and that got announced, I would say, like a year ago. With both Launchpad, Export, and Exchange splitting and not being part of the core team anymore, but being separate products. And I didn't read it that way, in the sense that, like, I read it that, like, they would have their own leadership, they would have their own things, but it would still be part of the foundation, still have aligned goals, etc. But what the launch of xPortal, the acquisition, the private equity or token raise, we don't have the details, that has been happening, showing that even though they are still probably partially owned by the foundation, etc., their goals are now to succeed on their own, to be a successful product. I won't say with or without MultiversX. And I want to say good for them. xPortal is a very good wallet, and there is things that can be improved on other wallets. My only concern is that the beauty of xPortal was that it was simple and very well embedded
The beauty of Maya,
to MultiversX. Yeah.
because
Well,
xPortal has never
but
been
even
simple.
no, but it was well integrated to MultiversX, and with the hub, etc. Like it wasn't as easy as Maya, but it still was easier than, let's say, an old MetaMask, etc. The issue with covering many chains, etc., is I struggle to see, and we can talk towards how they differentiate themselves from a Phantom, for example, which is adding chain after chain too. But anyway, but when it comes to MultiversX, xPortal is the only, as you say, is the core wallet, a mobile wallet of MultiversX. And we are kind of losing the exclusivity of xPortal as the core wallet, and we don't have other mobile wallets yet. We have XOXNO, who's coming with an app this year, but we are now seeing that xPortal is covering many networks, but we don't have many wallets covering MultiversX. And I hope that that will change. But for me, this, I don't say it's worrying, but like it reduces the showcase of MultiversX for xPortal as they will expand to more and more chains.
Please, Joaquim,
That's
let's focus about the topic, the acquisition of AlphaLink, the announcement of the new native token, and Benjamin Minku last May 2024 announced fundraising for xPortal and for xMoney. So we know now that the fundraising for xPortal will be through this token. It was not expected, but actually it was not clear neither. So please focus about AlphaLink, the token, and and after I will let the other answers.
I'll answer very quickly. As you said, AlphaLink is a website and LinkedIn. There's a private beta, but we, as I say, it's private, so we don't have access to it. They've actually removed their websites from the socials account, etc. So we can't test it. I just had a quick look at their website and what they offered. They didn't talk very much about AI. Right,
not even one mention in the website.
I didn't read a single line about AI.
AI is even in the website. You're right.
And I remembered in the frequently asked questions, there was like, are trades swaps enabled? And it said no, swaps will be enabled in the near future. So they sold. Obviously, they come from Trade Republic, which is very important to mention, which is a massive success. So they have a nice background. I was just like, I didn't see what that app had to add that xPortal doesn't do already, because they do cross-chain swaps and all the other basic features. And when it comes to the token, I feel we have a bit of PTSD by the fact that we've obviously had EGLD, MEX, UTKey that got bought up in the past, and that was supposed to be what kept like xMoney and giving benefits, etc. And now we talk about yet another token that maybe people are speculating about the airdrop, but it hasn't been promised or announced yet. So people are just like, why will this actually benefit EGLD and the other tokens, or will this take its own course and therefore like don't benefit people who have invested in MultiversX for a very long time?
Okay, so we have the same questions about the utility, about the dilution, about many talk about the what AlphaLink is really bringing, except these two high level profile from Trade Republic. But okay, same question. So I think Lucid wanted to jump in on this one.
Yeah, just to answer your three questions. So the acquisition, I agree, the product itself doesn't matter, but again, we have two big names in one of the most successful product, like Trade Republic in Europe. It's big. Like, we have to realize how important it is. I think this is very valuable and very good for xPortal. Now, the second question, you talk about token, but they need, like, xPortal needs, they want to go to the A League. They want to beat Phantom. So they need money, right? So there is no 10 of many hundred solution. I think token, that makes sense, especially now, since xPortal is really differentiating from the MultiversX. So you cannot have a correlation, strictly speaking, with EGLD. They need to have their own token. They need to have their own way to get funding. So this absolutely makes sense. I don't understand why there is a criticize on that. And especially since the condition, we don't know yet how it's going to be organized. So I think it's too early to talk about that. I think it's extremely positive. And yeah, sure.
Just to bounce off what you say they absolutely need their own token. Let's mention Phantom, who decided to rise on equity $150 million for a valuation of $3 billion. And they said that they will not issue a token for many reasons. So just MetaMask don't have a token, so it's not necessary. So I will just ask the question so you can precise.
Yeah, sure.
Why do they need their own token, according to you?
I think there is. It's the reason is they need that is. I think it's also a way, to like it can be used into the funding, the first part. The second thing is you need to use their services. They're gonna offer some things, right? So in order to make that makes sense to do it through a token. Again, you're right. You're absolutely right. It can be entirely through VC, but at the same time, with token, you can see what's happening on chain. So the benefit of that is you see the activities, you see the vesting schedule, you see things that in a decentralized way that you cannot see it if it's done behind the scene.
I think you confuse the consequences and the cause. This is because you launch a token that you need to provide transparent. You don't provide transparent by issuing a token. And so about the services, a token is not absolutely necessary. This is an option. This is a solution. But in my opinion, this is because they maybe don't manage to raise fund on equity in enough money, enough valuation, I think. So they decide to launch a token. But to be clear, for the moment, about the utility of this token, it will be to acquire users. Okay, so it will be offered like a loyalty token, and holding the token will allow to have a discount on fees and so on. So it will be very limited utility for the token. This is what we know so far, but we are not child. Okay, we know what this kind of loyalty token goes in terms of pricing and valuation. But this is maybe too early to speak about that. Tikapo wanted to Lucid, of course, answer me.
Go ahead, Tikapo.
No, Lucid, if you want to answer me and maybe to say
no, it's fine. Enough drama for today. Enough debate. Go ahead, Tikapo. No, it's fine.
We're here to debate. Okay, let's go, Tikapo. Lucid, feel free to jump in any time. Tikapo, what do you think about this?
Yeah, sure. Just to react to this acquisition, you say a lot of stuff and pretty agree with what you said. I'm just a little bit surprised about the fact that I think xPortal now is like a mess to onboard people, because the initial mission was to onboard the next billion people, and the complexity of the app kind of refrained people to be onboarded. That was way better on Maya. So now we saw something on Phantom with raising a lot of funds. We saw a lot of wallet emerging. We see X Money from Elon Musk making partnership with Visa. And I told myself, people maybe just need now an experience, like a wallet where they can onboard really easily, where they can trade really easily and cash out really easily. And if I make a statement about the ecosystem, I will say we have something like this in the ecosystem. Even if they don't like it, that's another, to be honest. That's a wallet built on MultiversX that do this kind of stuff. They bring key people, now C-level, into xPortal. That's good. They have a great track records, but at the moment, you have to think what these guys built a startup 1 year ago, even with the good track record of Trade Republic. I use it, that's dope. Now be acquired by xPortal. And now, after listening about the AMA, pivoting like into a AI agent marketplace and so on, with a token to be released soon, but we don't have any more info about it. And I'm not so much, let's say, I have some fear about that, but because this is too much. We don't know. We will see. We have to define. We will tell you. And as Joaquim said, we have PTSD about the MEX, and I don't like the launch of token without new tokenomic, new concrete utility. A marketplace is something really global, really vague. You can define what it is, and if it's not tough, let's say, take, because maybe that's a trend that will, like the other past, and we don't know if it will be sustainable into the long term. So I have some doubt about it, but I like the profile they're on board. This is good, guys. After that, we will need to see what they will be able to deliver.
Just to precise, about what you say, buying crypto, swapping crypto, cash out, and provide some banking services. We still don't have any information about the IBAN. And when we ask the question, they answer when the market conditions are more favorable. So, in this regard, the community is very, 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 how do you say, impatient, okay, about this fucking IBAN. They're announced 2 years ago. So guys, do something, or just cancel this, or just I don't know, but this is something that is very, very boring to the community. Arno, you wanted to jump on this, and I will make a coffee. So don't. I'm not leaving for long.
Okay. So regarding your questions, first the acquisition of AlphaLink. So from what we understand, this was a very early stage startup with a small team, with a product that I think wasn't even live. From what you hear during the space, there was a conversation. There was actually Benjamin met with the two founders. They had a good fit, talking about what they did, and then after talking, it made sense to basically join power. The wallet space is starting to be a packed one, and I believe that what the association between those two companies is more about acquiring those two founders that have very relevant experience as to what xPortal wants to become. That has been said by Joaquim, by Lucide, especially through their track record in Trade Republic. Regarding the AI part, there's most likely loads of things that we don't see. Nobody is an AI expert. I mean, AI is so young that most people are experimenting automations, training on top of current models that are being built by the big players of the industry. And we can even see that those big players in the industry don't know how to build efficient infrastructure, because we see a new player coming in, DeepSeek, and they have 100x slower costs in computation. So, I mean, it's time to be very humble and recognize that AI is still super young. So what I heard from, I think it was Mohit, his name, the CTO, he is the guy who is experimenting with AI, and apparently he's doing it a lot. So this is an early stage startup acquisition. xPortal is the big player in this, and they're acquiring this AlphaLink company for two things: the founders and the technology, the know-how that those guys have. So that's the first part. And I think it's actually good because it strengthens the xPortal team that has already done a great job. I mean, to be honest, just download the Phantom app, download the xPortal app, compare those two apps. One is valued 3 billion after its raise, and one is valued nothing.
I'll just jump on a quick thing you said, because I think that's very interesting. As you said, like with the they've acquired the talent, and basically in the startup world, you don't just give up a company, you want an exit, and for them to be acquired, they can mark that as a success, no matter how far they'd come. So even if they don't even use a single code of the project, they just wanted the talent from it. It is in the interest for everyone to say that they've acquired them, even if there's low to no monetary value behind it.
Yeah, most likely, if there's going to be a race for xPortal, and those guys, if I don't know if they had other employees in Alpha Link, if they had other people having equity than those two guys, but you know, there's a deal that has been made, and everybody seems happy with it, so it's good. It strengthens xPortal, and you know, let's see how they manage to iterate on integrating AI in the product. This is not going, just to be clear, this is not going to take 2 weeks. This is an iteration process that is going to take a long time. First seeing, I don't know, maybe an AI integration that will help you, as they said, gather more information about what's happening in the ecosystem, the tokens, etc., and then over time integrating it more and more into the agentic part, as you can have your assistant do things for you, do swaps, etc.
To go a little faster, please. There's so many topics and times,
token sale.
Please speak about the token, please.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
First of all, I think we need to also raising through a token is the alpha way of raising money. If finance is transiting on chain, it is for a specific reason, and for a company to raise on tokens is because tokens are equity on steroids, equity on chain. It brings so much more possibilities, flexibility. You can build utility on top of your equity then once it's tokenized. So it makes just so much more sense. The issue is we are traumatized by so many projects. But this doesn't mean that we're still at the early stage of tokenomics building, utility building, and you know, I'm actually happy that they're launching a token, because we need more tokens in the MultiversX ecosystem. We don't have enough tokens in the ecosystem. So when people are saying it's going to dilute GLD, blah blah blah, I mean, you have 1,000 meme coins launching every day on Solana. Do you see it diluting or whatever? No, it's more value propositions. It's more strength. It's great to have more tokens when they're backing. They're part of serious projects. So regarding the utility, let's see what those guys are going to build around it. But those are smart people, so I would rather give them the benefit of the doubt and be excited about what they're building than the opposite. So it is absolutely great that we have this token of that is going to be launched. And yeah,
very much. Philippe. Okay, you're mute.
Am I mute?
Yeah, I muted you. I don't know why. Let's go.
No, I know why. It's fine.
Oh, because you had your
well deserved. It's fine. No. Regarding the token, the token and xPortal, I think everything that has been said regarding what can be done with AI features, we can discuss that later. But I think the important aspect that nobody put really the finger in, I think, is like xPortal will get detached from the MultiversX Foundation. So that means that they need to create other stream flow of revenue whatsoever. But for example, just counting the Eagle stack in delegation doesn't make sense for them. So I think it will arrive in a mix between like the CRT and the BNB, using their ecosystem, using their wallet, paying the fee for transfer, like maybe having the IBAN advantages on the card, that's something. But I think on top of that, we need to understand that I think they want to expand outside of MultiversX and having their token providing advantages and new features, in fact, on other chain. xPortal, like you said, it's already connected. I think Joaquim, you said that it's already connected to a lot of chain. That's nice, but at the end, you need to create service and rentability over this chain. And I think the token is a good way that is through stacking, that is through liquidity, that is through partnership. It's a good way to get visibility of the wallet and its native chain that will be MultiversX. So honestly, we have to wait on the tokenomic, because the tokenomic can still be the worst one possible, but I hope not. But after that, I think it's a really good move.
Okay. You know what? This is what I love on GM Web3, because the opinions are balanced and we don't agree on everything. That's why I really, really like hosting this with Arno. We will receive another.
I'm the only one.
Dance. Hello, Dance. What's up?
Hello, how's it going, guys? Great to see you all.
Yeah, very, very good. It's a pleasure to have you. Do you have a word, something to say about xPortal, the acquisition of Alpha Link, the new native token?
I mean, I think
What does native token means to you guys? We never explained this. Dance, to start, what do you think?
I think this is exciting, to be honest, because this is trendy, right? So everything that is AI agents, everything that is your portfolio on steroids using AI solutions, this is exactly what the people are looking for, and this is the next step, the next evolution when you speak about your portfolio with crypto, with money inside it, make it work, and have your copilot next to you to tell you how to optimize it in the best way possible and streamline it. The only issue I think I've got there is that there is I don't know. It's, as I said, it's very trendy, and when it's trendy, you need to build fast. You need to release the stuff tomorrow. Otherwise, the trend is gonna fade at some point. Tomorrow there's gonna be a new meta, and people are not gonna be as excited about this as they are today. If you see what I mean. I think they need to, build fast and release it fast. Otherwise, that's not gonna gather as much steam as if it was launched today. I don't know what everyone thinks about it, but I think that's the current issue. I would say, to me, they need to release it fast.
If I can intervene here, there are a few components, key components in blockchain industry that have been here for years and are not going anywhere. One of them is wallets. Wallets are not going anywhere. They could evolve, but they're not going anywhere because they're a core part of the blockchain, the crypto experience. The second thing is DeFi. We like to talk about narratives because it's a pure speculation, roller coaster to talk about narrative. But if we remove narratives, what has been here since 2017 and still be here, and the biggest use case in crypto, it's decentralized finance. It's been here, still built upon. It's not going anywhere. Wallets are a core component of DeFi. So it's not going anywhere. And artificial intelligence, when you see the power of the technology, it's not going anywhere. So I don't necessarily agree with you, Dance, because I think that artificial intelligence and fitting artificial intelligence in every product digital product that everybody's going to build is the trend of the next 20 years. So I agree with you. Putting this at the center of a wallet makes a lot of sense. It's not going to be done overnight. So I wouldn't, raising by saying that you want to put this as a core component of your future user experience on a wallet is great. If you're not doing it, it would be stupid. So there's no rush to me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. Regardless, if they're launching the new feature tomorrow, in a year, I'll still be using xPortal because I love the wallet. I don't really mind, but it's more like having a competitive edge over the markets, because tomorrow, if Phantom release that first, well, they're gonna have that competitive edge first, if you know what I mean. But of course, the tech is not moving anywhere. I agree with your point for sure.
Thank you, Dance. Just next time, just write up in the private chat before you take the mic, because it will be difficult.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
No, it's okay. I think Joaquim wanted to bounce. No, not Joaquim. It was
Yeah.
Joaquim wanted
No,
to
it was me.
bounce on it. Let's go.
And because Arno and I, we always have this eternal debate, and we're not going to start it from ever. But yes, DeFi is the bedrock of blockchain technology. There is no doubt, and it is what has been the most successful until now. Will it always remain the most successful and the most used features of the blockchain?
I didn't say
tend to
that.
disagree.
Come on.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I tend to disagree on that part. But what is you're saying is very interesting with the AI models is like, as we know, we've had the Echoes, Alexas, Google Home, etc. In our homes daily, and which allows us to do simple things like you open your fridge, you're missing something, you ask Alexa to add it to your grocery list, and then if you made a mistake, you can just open the app and delete it. Right? That is low risk, high practicality. When you're about to invest money, you can take the time to sit down on a chair in front of your computer. And that is where I'm kind of missing the point, like giving advice and giving the options 100%. And that's where I think we've been missing for too long a solution like Autoscale, which optimizes and gives you the best tools. But do I really need to talk to an artificial intelligence for it to give me that? For me, that's where I'm kind of missing it. I want to be proven wrong, and probably there is a way which we can do it, but to have been testing with Elisa and several of the builders have, the problem with it compared to traditional chatbot is that it's not binary. It's not a script. It doesn't follow a script. It's a black box, and the outcome, you can control it to a certain degree, but there is that little part of like it can actually go not rogue, but like get a bit creative or hallucinate, as is called in technical terms. And that is where I feel a sense of uncertainty, because like, what is going to be? Do we will have to sign, like when we agree to the terms and conditions, oh, the AI might actually tell you wrong things. This is at your own risk, whatever you accept the AI to do. And I'm just like, we already have this picture of blockchain being speculative, being yeah, and we're kind of adding this on top of it, which I feel like is even more fuel to the fire to the people who are skeptical to blockchain and DeFi.
Thank you very much, guys. I hope everyone could tell his word about xPortal and acquisition of Alpha Link. Of course, we will follow this topic during the next weeks and month. I would like to shout out to the second sponsor of GM Web3. It's AI Nexus. It's a metaverse built with AI. The previous X Launchpad, and they support us every week. So thank you very much to you. And it's interesting because there is a good transition with the next topic. We'll speak about AI agent. AI agent are now available through Elisa on MultiversX. So we can see on Twitter many new AI agent popping in our notifications. We had Quack one. We had also one or two others. I don't remember. And we have now a new one that who were built by Dance, and that's why I invited him this morning. But more of this night, we saw someone who could create the first pair, the first LP with this AR agent. So to be completely clear with you, I don't exactly see the point of this AI agent, but I'm sure there is so many potential things that can be done with them, and that's why I wanted to have this chat with you. So first of all, I will invite Dance to tell us what are the challenge and the opportunities of AI agents on MultiversX. Yeah, tell us a bit about this.
So first, the fact that you said you don't see the point of AI agents, if you compare that to the one I launched on Twitter, I completely agree, because it's it's just a crap kind of AI agent that is just meant to roast people on Twitter and
For
protect
now,
my
yeah,
bags, which are eagled. So that's why I understand it. If you say that's
Just
gonna be
for
useless, this
now,
one is partly it. Huh?
for now, your AI agent agrees with me all the time, so I love him.
Man, he was supposed actually to roast you. He was
Oh,
supposed to
really?
roast you.
I think
So
not
actually,
what I
he's
say.
so the way I programmed it is supposed to roast anyone that that roast eagled on MultiversX, basically. And he knows his shit, right? He's supposed to do the e-stacks properly that I gave to them. So that means you're actually not really roasting MultiversX in that sense, right? You're actually providing constructive feedback. So just take it. Just take that. But no, yeah, but that AI agent I launched was just like sort of like a test, just to see how it works, how the whole environment works as well, all the kind of like clients and plugins that you can integrate to the AI agents, and it's huge. I mean, it's big. You can choose like the large language model that you want. You can choose which platform you want it to be integrated to, and do the sort of like automatic tasks that you want it to do, like send WhatsApp messages for you on your behalf, for example. Something you can do as well. It's absolutely mental, and that doesn't require any lines of code. It's just about integrating the APIs and stuff. So that framework, ElisaOS, absolutely gold, absolutely gold. And if you integrate more like solutions for businesses, like integrated an API for Calendly, for example, or for like Planety, or other like Booksy, for example, and you can, like, for example, on Twitter, reply under my tweet and say, I want to book your time like an hour between like 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. tomorrow, and it's gonna directly check your availabilities on Calendly, for example, and book that call for you directly right away. It's doing that autonomously without asking you to do so. But obviously, it's gonna check if you're available. It's not gonna, you know how Calendly works. And so, in the sense that AI agents in general, they can do a set of tasks autonomously, but obviously following some sort of like human guidance that you gave to them. And they can also like speak in your name. They can do a bunch of stuff. I mean, honestly, the possibilities are absolutely endless. And when it comes to MultiversX, they could, for example, send tokens for you. They could like create liquidity pools. They could create pair tokens, just like xPortal just released recently. Just like a bunch of stuff. Honestly, it would take like hours, even probably days, to talk about all the use cases that are possible. But to conclude, the possibilities are endless. You can do a bunch of stuff, and it's just exciting, But I understand that you feel like it's probably a useless technology. You don't see the point because it's quite early as well. We haven't seen the full extent of those use cases yet, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I mean, if I may jump on that, I mean, honestly, I played also with ElisaOS. I mean, since they released the MultiversX package. So I'm playing with MultiversX, but not only, because at the moment I'm more learning like how to use ElisaOS, how to configure. Because I mean, the main principle, I mean, if I can resume maybe a little, is like you take ElisaOS, you give it a character, so you define your character. So for example,
Yeah.
I'm doing a Rick Sanchez at the moment, but what's something that we can do, GRM, if you're motivated, we can export your entire Twitter X archive if you want, and we can generate a character that reproduce your behavior. So we can make AI GRM if you want, and then you will post all
Imagine
day
two
online.
GRMs on Twitter. I think
Let's do this.
I wouldn't install Twitter if that happens.
This.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's really nice. I mean, like, so in fact, you create your character. So
Yeah,
me,
but
I'm
my
doing a
question is,
Rick Sanchez.
I know that we can do this and it's not new, but why do we need AI agent on chain when we have ChatGPT or any other
There is two
AI,
things.
you know what I mean? This is
That's another aspect. So so to come back, you have the character that will define the personality of your agent. Okay. Then you have the model that you will run with. So the best one is OpenAI. I mean, you tell me Jens, but for all the tests when I did, OpenAI is destroying all of the others. I run it locally sometime on my Mac to try, but it's so you have to pay a little if you want to play with it. You need to put €5 on OpenAI and play with it. That's the only way to really have the results. Okay, let's be fair. So you have the model, you have your character, and then you have the database with all the training. Like, for example, I can give all your tweets, all your stuff, and you will get that as a database, okay? So what they created with MultiversX is the capacity, in fact, to create an interface between the AI and the on-chain data. The model will not be running on-chain. Honestly, that doesn't make sense. I mean, when you see the amount of resources that you need to compute AI, running a model on-chain, you can bake stuff, but it will really be crap, okay? So you need to have this, in fact, a way to talk, in fact, that the AI can speak between the blockchain API, so the public one or one that you create, and to understand what is reading. So, for example, at the moment with the module that is released with Elisa and MultiversX, you can send token and mint a token. That's all. But for example, something that I'm working on at the moment, it's something to say, what do you have on your wallet? Just that to create, in fact, the logic behind that will read on the blockchain how much token you have, that will put them on the proper format that the AI can understand and use it to make decision. And so you need, in fact, to balance between the model that you will use, the character that will define, is it someone that teach? Is it someone that use a lot of sarcasm? Is it someone, for example, I could ask Robert Sassou also, let's make an AI bot of you to talk and to bash the other blockchain, you know, so we take all the knowledge from Sassou, we put the logic of Rick Sanchez, like really, really bad, really, really trash, and we mix them together to make something. I mean, and that's just the AI, because what Paul Jens and what Paul Dan, sorry, and I will stop after that, is like the integration with the rest. So, for example, I discovered recently something called N8N. So it's an open source solution that allows you, so you can try it for free online. After you have to pay every month, or you can just deploy your own instance. But after that, you can take your model, take the logic of the character, everything, connect that with Gmail, to connect that with Telegram, connect that with Discord, and you can really create something that, for those who try my dApp, for example, when you ask, for example, how much asset you have, it can take everything, create the connection by itself, create the transaction, and make management of his own stuff by itself. I mean, because you can create you can create an agent that can interact with the chain, or you can create an agent that can just read the chain, and that changes everything in terms of use case.
Joaquim,
I'll try to be quick, I promise.
No,
yes,
it's not about being quick. It's about to be focused on what you want to say, because if not, we repeat and we speak for hours for nothing. Thank you, Joaquim.
So as Philippe said, like all those things you described, with the exception of obviously now the integration, basically, I guess it has the Python or the JavaScript SDK integrated for Elisa, which allows her to send transactions for the user, etc. But as you said, like most of the things an AI agent can do, has been able to do it for a while, actually. Like the latest news is how much Elisa allows you to add stuff, integrations, as you said. And again, I really failed to see what part of it do I need it to be interact with the chain. Calling APIs, telling me that my staking position, etc. 100%, why not? But doing the actual integrations, I'm not sure. On the other hand, let's say your services or all services that have a front that it gives the possibility to call an API to do an action on my behalf on your platform that isn't on chain directly. So there is this kind of like protection that is done in a very compartmentalized way. Yes, but adding the whole SDK of MultiversX and letting the agent do whatever it wants on chain, really not. I really don't see that much added value. But again, I might just be missing use cases, because the ones you explained with you, Philippe, I 100% agree, but they're not relevant to the latest edition.
I mean, honestly, there is a lot of use cases, some that make sense, some that doesn't. I totally agree with you. But for example, I think the capacity of having an AI agent will not be really to do DeFi or stuff like that, but more, I think, community management. That means answer to the question about people, about their wallets.
I want to jump on this.
Go.
Because about community management with chatbot, AI, I said it before, but I will repeat there. I think it's lazy, it's not funny, it's boring, it's not well done, it's not accurate, it's not relevant. At least what I see on MultiversX so far. When I read the community management made by this, I think it's so cringe. But some told me that on other blockchains there were like very, very, very good chat AI agent, and so maybe we need to improve on this topic. But as a marketer, I would advise project to do their own community management by themselves, to write with their words, with their tones, with their personality, instead of trying to train an AI agent. But maybe I'm a little boomer, but I want real men behind community managers. But maybe I'm a boomer about this.
I mean, again, the usage are limitless. So let's leave on the side, because I think a lot of people in their mind, they are, if I have an AI agent that manage my liquidity, my money, that all these things, what are the use cases? And I think that's not the way that people should think and should look at AI agents, but more, I mean, little example, when you are talking about the Telegram bot, for example, right now they are using a chatbot called Rosa, if I'm not wrong, like that can make the administration, ban the people and all these things. Think about having the same bot, but with the capacity to tips the people that report the scam. Directly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a simple use case.
It's a script. It's just like you don't need the complexity of an AI model to be able to do a bounty system.
I totally agree with you, but the thing is, like, to give the tool, so someone need to create this AI agent that other people can use it. Like Rosa, 99% of the people that are using Rosa at the moment on Telegram, they never code it. They just configure it. And I think we should do the same with AI agent that can interact with the chain.
You can just add a plugin to Rosa that allows you to link a wallet, and it will send transactions.
Yes.
You don't need the like. That's where I'm getting confused. It's like,
did you play with
Elisa? You
don't
need the AI part for that.
Did you play with Elisa?
Yeah.
Because
I've talked with people who have.
What I think is beautiful, to be honest, is like with one sentence, like create me a token, blah 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 blah. He managed to extract the parameters, to format them properly, and to submit the transaction. I mean, for everyone that did like extraction of data,
we're getting bored, guys. We need to move on. It's too technical. Okay, let's be. If anyone wants to jump on about use cases, about potential, about maybe the opportunities for MultiversX, let's go. But when you speak about SDK or so on, we're getting bored.
If I can jump just regarding xPortal and how they can use it, maybe.
Oh, because they plan XGenie, or
exactly. I think I mean, that's something. Everything that we describe, I think XGenius will be something going into that direction. To be honest, I mean, so the capacity to just tell him, like, you have a chatbot on xPortal, and you just ask him, what are my stuff, what can I do, and in fact, instead of having a boring script, if I can say, you have a more generative tool that will talk to you, depending if you are like 30 years old, if you are 60 years old, if you are like, depending if you are technical, depending if you are not, depending on the different questions that you asked in the past, to understand which kind of user you are. And then he will be able to provide you support really dedicated for your approach.
Okay. But that's interesting, Dance, and we will finish this topic by this, by maybe explaining what's the difference between a bot and an AI agent. It's the autonomy, correct? Oh, maybe I muted you. No, you muted yourself.
I muted myself. Sorry. You know, when you have when you create a bot, for example, like let's take the example of a chatbot on a website, for example. Chatbot on the website, it's slow, clunky. It's going to answer the exact same answer regardless of the person that is going to interact with, regardless of the environment, regardless of the previous discussion as well, the whole thread of discussion. The difference with an AI system to an AI agent is going to be that that chat, which is an AI, not a bot, is going to be able to answer depending on the discussion. It's going to learn from the discussion. It's going to learn from obviously depending on your knowledge base as well that it's going to tap into the set of instructions, but it's also going to be able to provide human-like interactions or whatever kind of like instructions that you gave to like kind of character. So it's just more human-like. It's faster because it uses models like OpenAI and stuff. It's less clunky, less slow, just much better overall, to put it simple.
Yeah, I mean, it's really depend on the use cases, I think, because if you go on private chain, for example, if I'm a company that deploy a private chain for sign my document, make a traceability of who did what, load my logistic, all these things, I want to have maybe an AI agent that is capable to interact with all this data, just for read maybe, but could be also for write stuff, and it can be answering to anyone in the company that have the proper that have a question. In fact, they just ask it. It can look at the entire history, who did what, and could be perfect for audit, traceability, transparency for or public organization. If there is something, I mean, not going into much detail, but also, for example, space traffic management. It's something that they are currently looking at. You have so much amount of data that having a bot that go with if and then, in fact, you need to have something that is more advanced in terms of algorithm to aggregate all this information together and give you a clear answer. And that, I mean, like that's a big gap that I've been between a chatbot and ChatGPT. I mean, that's this LLM human understanding language. I mean, like it's.
Tikapo, what do you think about AI agent? Is it something that you started to develop or deep dive or not yet?
Yeah, I'm starting to deep dive into it, I think, a month ago. And now we saw more SDK and more utility coming into the chain. But on X, actually, you see a lot of AI agent roasting people because this is the main feature that's making a lot of, let's say, impression. So that's dope. But as I think, like you guys, we are only at the beginning and we have more to do with that, integrate this into apps. Quite agree with your opinion, Joel, about the fact that community should not rush into AI agent to the community management, because you need to pass your identity through the community management, so that maybe too early to do it right now. We'll see later with AG, so not right now. And then let's see what's happened. Let's see if then xPortal will integrate it with their agents. Let's see if we can do some more utility on chain with the AI agents. At the moment, you can see a lot of stuff need to be debugged, so it's really, let's say, risky to start something right now and let AI agents do some operation directly to our portfolio. So yeah, we are exploring. So that's curious. And as a dev, I'm curious about it and still exploring.
Thank you very much. And we welcome El Pulpo, who wanted to say something about AI agent. Hello, El Pulpo. Welcome. Your first time on GM Web3. Oh, we can't hear you. We can hear
Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself. We can't hear you, El Pulpo. So maybe there is a device problem. I hope you can fix it soon. Yeah, in the meantime, Lucid, what do you think about AI agent? And maybe are you aware of other use cases on other blockchain, other ecosystem?
Yeah, I use it a lot actually, but in the Web2 space, but actually, quite a lot, and it's crazy, and the capability is insane. I think the application you are talking about is a bit specific, but I think in the chat I saw something written by El Pupo, and it's exactly that. Like the fact that the agents can act on your own and manage all the connection and stuff like that. That means on-chain activity, run it automatically, and scalable. And that's insane. And what's gonna happen? We know that, right? But agents can basically, the way it works is like an agent is a single can represent a single person or an entity, and you can create what we call crews, which is a list of agents that act, for example, specific things. So for example, compliance, you can have an agent specific for compliance officer, one for supervisor. So you can create teams, fake teams. Each one has a goal and has an action, and you can run it anytime, and completely independent. That's we just see the glimpse of what's gonna come, but for sure in a couple of years everything will be different. That's just my feedback on this.
Thank you. El Pulpo should work now. Let's try.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it is.
Great.
Welcome, El Pulpo. What's up?
What's up? I'm good. Thanks. What about you? Thanks for having me. I will be quick. Just because I hear you were saying that you don't see utility of on-chain interaction with AI agent. I think there is two different things that we need to separate. It's the way AI can chat with you with the different knowledge we give him, different character we give him. Like Philippe said, you can take your whole X properly Twitter archive and make a character for a bot, and then you speak. He will taunt people on X or any way you ask. This is one thing. The other thing is the action he can actually do. And for example, the xPortal team spoke about the XGenie that they are building, and I'm quite sure they are doing that on the ELISA OS tech. You can ask your AI agent to do action for you, and it doesn't even have to answer. It doesn't even have to have a knowledge or characters. Just if he can do the action, he will do it for you. And it could be anything. Like I want to claim my fees on the pool I have on xPortal. I will ask him. He will do it, and he will not answer me. He will not taunt me on anything because I don't ask him to do that. I just ask him to create an action on chain, and he will do it. It can be really big for xPortal, for example, because I believe they will do it. You don't have to connect to any app. You don't have to sign any transaction. He will do everything for you just because you ask him for it in a chat. I mean, this is really huge. And as well, every new technology will come with a new problem, and what we do with this technology. And we are everywhere. Everyone is still trying stuff, building in their corner, and we don't really know exactly where we are going, but we are going there. So let's jump on the sea and see where we can go with that. But I believe we need to separate these two things.
Thank you very much, El Pulpo. And I noticed that this night and this morning you said that you managed, with the help of other builders, to create the first pair and the first LP through this AI agent.
Yeah, when MultiversX said about this package available for ELISA, they released it with two possible action for the AI agent. It was the create token action and the transfer token action. So that was two things you could actually ask your AI agent with the last available version of ELISA. A couple of days after, the swap action was possible. One of builders did that, and there is like hundreds of actions that you can do on chain on MultiversX, and you need to build one by one. So that's why I'm working on for example, I'm working on the create pair. But create pair is not one action. Create pair is the first, but then you have to issue the LP token. Then you have to set up the roles, and so there is like 5 or 6 transaction that needs to be done on chain just to have your pool working. So it's the thing I'm working on now, but it's mostly to learn myself how to do this kind of stuff. And I'm maybe no one will use it, but I mean it's just to take part of this movement.
Wouldn't it be easier in a sense to again kind of like you only need to call one function, like you say, like I want to create an LP token, and then having automations like smart contracts and scripts that do the rest. So then your model it doesn't need, because again, I feel like the risk of a model is he loses itself on the way, he hallucinates, etc. While if he only needs to do one thing and one thing right, and the rest is automated, I feel like it reduces a lot the potential of something going wrong.
Actually, like I said, there is like 6 or 7 steps, and I was starting to ask him the first step, then ask him the second step, and I'm sure it won't work like this. I need to have it like asking the first step, he understand it, and then all the others will go to it. But there is another thing that we need to understand. When I ask him to do this, if he understands the action, this is not him checking on his knowledge or its the database or anything. He won't check that. It's just a line of code, and it's the action is doing it. It's like on the app, you ask for you click on a button, and your script is going on. This is what happens when you trigger an action. The script is written and is following. It's not the bot, the agent that are trying to understand what he have to do and he do it. No. If the first sentence trigger the action, then all the scripts will go on.
And if I may add something also, the beauty of that is like you can have part of this logic that is stored into smart contracts. And so, in fact, when you ask an agent a question, he will look at the blockchain, the information. He will take this information. He will run them on code that are directly stored on smart contracts. So these one are certified by the community, like, for example, generate a transaction. Or I mean, we can see what can be done. But the idea is to have part of different logic that can be needed in the ecosystem that are stored in different smart contracts, different places on chain. And then when you run your agent, you will use this. That's why there's an image of a gigantic brain that is a blockchain. And then you can trigger different parts with this information and get a decision out of that. And I think it's something that is really important because, as I always try to abstract, a blockchain is just a database. And at this moment, you have like the way of interacting with a database just by saying, oh, change this information. So anyone, even without any knowledge, just a microphone, you can speak, make it directly as a text, take this text, feeding it into the model agent, understand what the one want to do, and doing it. I mean, it's. I think it still needs some work. Like say Pulpo, by the way, I will send you a message because we have a group of people working on the repo at the moment.
Nice.
So I will invite you there, and yeah, let's add more functionalities and more stuff. Yeah.
And I think it's worth mentioning warps by Misha.
That was my next point.
Last take, guys. Last take.
Yeah. So Misha V, builder of PME and other tools on MultiversX, created warps, which basically, as you said, is like having an immutable way to interact. So it's a script in a sense that is stored on chain that you can call, and basically the outcome is expected. And as you said, El Pulpo, a little bit, and that's why I still think this is an AI chatbot with scripts, is that you have to teach it, like you have to tell him what to do once it has been triggered. You can do the same with warps. So basically you can give a list of warps and saying this is for creating a token, this is for selling an NFT, you just need to give the ticker and the price, etc. And that is very interesting, and that is where I think there's this number of warps are useful for certain use, quite limited for like regular, I would say, user interactions. And but with, as you said, AI agents, I feel like suddenly they will have this library of different contracts that are ready and open and immutable that can be used without getting any bad surprises. And I think like this combo together is pretty strong.
Yeah. You can ask an AI agent to do the work for you.
Thank you very much, guys. We will speak about AI agent again and again on GM Web3. Of course, it's one of the biggest or the most promising cycle of this year, in my opinion. Let's see if MultiversX manages to surf on this. Let's remind that they launched their $1.5 million grant program. It's a growth growth program, something
Growth
like
games.
yeah, to attract builders to build AI agents on the chain. Do one of you applied to this program, by the way?
GAPA is about to, but not for the AI agent part.
No, I'm talking about it's part of growth, or growth is just dedicated to
No, Growth Games has a lot of different things, but a big chunk is focused on AI.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have two grants system. You have the 750K right now, that is a growth program, so that cover AI and toolings, education, stuff like that. And I think on top of that, like that have been announced last year, it was a 1.5 million grant for sovereign chain. And then they switch it into AI now, I think, if I'm not wrong.
Someone have the link?
I can share it.
Thanks.
I can share it. Give me a second, or if someone can do it first.
Yeah, I can do that.
So, guys, let's speak about the last topic of the day. Of course, if you guys need to leave, have a very good day, especially dance. You must leave.
Yeah, I see you guys. I've got to jump off. Have a great day.
Chat soon. Bye bye.
Cheers, man.
I leave you too.
Bye-bye.
I leave you
Bye.
too. Thanks for inviting for the chat, the quick chat, and I keep
Bye,
listening.
Pulpo. Keep
Bye-bye.
building.
Ouais, message message en Telegram, Pulpo.
Yeah, thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay, so let's speak about the last topic of the day. It's something that made people write this week. It's about the thread of Benjamin Minku, the CEO of MultiversX, introducing blockchain technology in response of Elon Musk appeal for blockchain to help to empower the Doge department of efficient governance. I don't exactly remember what the name is. So there are different ways to see this. I will put the link of the thread in the comment if you haven't seen it. It would be surprising, but everything's possible. In this thread, Benjamin Minku is presenting the blockchain, the MultiversX blockchain, the advantages, and why MultiversX could be the blockchain used for this department. 2 or 3 things to add more context, and after I will be glad to have your opinion about this way of communicating. Benjamin went to the USA for the Crypto Ball, which is a gala with all the crypto key actors in the world. And he went there in the USA a few days ago, but he went there a few weeks ago another time, because he plans to open an office in the USA. And so he wants to, I think, to network with USA partners, VCs, key leaders, and so on. And so the community, and he's acting like a trip influencers by posting pictures. I'm on the way for the USA, the airport, the plan. So, it's like there is a storytelling with his trip to the USA. So it's pretty cool. But of course, the community has some expectation with this USA trip. And so we were expecting that he had some chat with key leaders there. And this thread is like, okay, so he has no network. So he just have X to introduce MultiversX. This is the way I see things, but everybody says I'm biased. I am a father. I'm not objective. So that's why, guys, I need you to give me your opinion about this way of communicating. Before, just let's mention that other key leaders did the same. Charles from Cardano, Justin Sun from Ton also made some posts to quote tweet this appeal from Musk saying Cardano and Bitcoin can do it, Ton blockchain can do it. So Benjamin is not the only one having done that. I think that's for the context. Who wants to jump on this first? Yeah, of course, Arno. Let's go. And I can't hear you, so unmute yourself first. No, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Am I the only one? No!
No, I don't hear you neither.
Okay. No, Arno, find a way. I want to have your opinion. Okay, it will come back, so Joaquim first.
I kind of want to go as follow-up because I was sure Arno would give a 2 minutes masterclass about this, and I would just add the little thing on top. I don't have any very strong opinion about this. Thank you very much. That's it. No, I'm kidding. But I do wish that the time that Beni spent on telling how MultiversX could be used to that, etc., was a more frequent thing. That it did need to be to attract Elon Musk's attention, that he would sell the vision how MultiversX could solve this, but actually being more frequent and more like, oh, there's so many use cases that MultiversX could be used for, and share that vision. So I don't have any strong opinion like you do, GRM, on it. I just, again, wish it was more used towards the community and builders than towards
so you say up
Elon.
To say you don't have an opinion about this?
Exactly.
Okay. No, but this is interesting. Arno is back, but this is interesting to try to figure out if the thread is for Musk, Trump, and so on, or if it's for the community. But if it's for the community, do the community needs to know what is MultiversX? Just asking.
I don't think it's for the
Arno,
community. No, I think
let's
it's.
go.
Can you hear me now?
For.
Yes. Missed you, brother.
Brilliant. So long.
Yeah.
I was eating and listening to the guys talk about AI agents, so I guess you missed my voice. So first of all, it's important that our CEO, the CEO of MultiversX, exists. And so those are the ways that, as you said, other leaders of other blockchains have positioned themselves. So, it's like, I don't know how much Musk, looks at those things. The truth is we see Musk interact. So we know that he reads stuff. So Musk is also someone who, when he bought Twitter, he built it to become a more direct platform. So I believe that he does use X in that way. So I believe that even if it's a long shot, it is a shot worth taking. And secondly, and this is where I would defend this initiative, to me, this is a pure growth and positioning initiative. It's not for the community. It is, you have, whenever you rebound on something that Musk has posted, you get a lot of reach, and you get exposed to a different audience. So I believe this is also a way to position MultiversX so that it gathers new eyeballs, and create more conversations that come through the inbox of Beni, most likely. But
do you think
it's more...
Sorry, but just do you think it's it can be you know what is marketing, you know what is communication, and we don't have the truth here. Okay, we don't pretend to know more than anyone. It's just our personal opinion. So in your personal opinion, do you think it can be it can bring more advantage, like leads, network, DMs, exposure, what you say, or disadvantage, lack of credibility, the maybe cringe-worthy way of communicating, trying to say, "Hey Trump, I'm here. Hey Trump, hey Musk, I'm here." This. So, what's the balance in your opinion? And I will ask the same question to the others, so the audience can make their own opinion.
Benjamin is the CEO of a blockchain that wants to become one of the dominant blockchains in the world. So if he doesn't do stuff like this, then what is he doing? This is a way to position MultiversX with a concrete use case on a concrete need. We can call it, trying to get attention. It's exactly that. So, but in the end, in 2 weeks, we will all have forgotten. Like, people who found it cringe, they would be focusing on about something else. So this is pure growth, pure positioning. I mean, to me, this.
So if Benjamin would have asked you before, what do you think, Arno? Do I do it? Or maybe it's not worthy? You would have said, do it or not? Let's put in Adam Bates' shoes for a second.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's not even worth. It's such a small thing, that to me there's no risk in doing this. So yeah, just do it. But
okay, interesting. Do someone else want to? Yeah, Lucy. No, first. Okay, I don't remember who's the next one because there are too many apps and too many other discussion. Who wants to?
I can go if it's
let's
fine.
go. What do you think about this way of communicating of Benjamin?
I mean, it's lobbying at the end. I mean, everything has been said, I think, in terms of visibility by Arno, so that's not the point. But I think it's when you're having politics, it's in terms of lobbying, in terms of visibility, and in terms of going after people every day, passing their back, like being nice with them, talking with them, inviting them to the event, and see that they say yes. The thing is, like, you see it at the same at the European Commission in politics. I mean, you have people that need to do lobbying, and at the end, it's perfectly in his role as a CEO of MultiversX to try to sell his technology, even more in US, where he try to go and implement and raise funding, or maybe already have some fundings coming in terms of condition. So no, for me, it's in the way. I mean, like, we are not in the top 10, so we still need to show that we exist, I think.
Okay. Joaquim, maybe.
Well, I've already given my non-opinion.
Oh, you already spoke about this?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I give my
maybe you
non-opinion,
had
but anyway,
an opinion now.
No, I like Arno's way of describing it.
Okay,
so
Lucid.
I'll stick to that.
Yeah. So just before mentioning Benjamin communication, we have to also realize, like, I'm one of the guys which was not really fan of the communication, and I have to say one thing first is I see some improvement, right? So, for example, I see not just Benjamin, but also Lucian posting more on Twitter, which is a good thing, right? Many times we complain they are not on Twitter, they are not posting, etc. And now they are doing it. So, we are never happy. So at least for this part, I'm quite satisfied. No, for the tweet itself.
It's not fair to say that. For example, he made a post about DeepSeek yesterday, for example. It was very interesting. It was relevant. And MultiversX was in the post by saying that even small actors can disrupt the market. I think it was this kind of post is relevant, is interesting for the ecosystem. It brings some substance. So I think, and so maybe I take it personally, and I should not. I'm sorry for that. But I think creating content must not be the occasion to do anything. So post more, but also post better. So just maybe to be fairer.
Sure. So the point what I wanted to reward and say good things is, especially you, Lucien, talk to the builders and say, "Hey, that's good what you're doing." I see it more. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe this is something
No,
I'm
it's true. He quote tweet more, and he made some
right?
tweet, but it's still pushy. That's
Yeah, it's still pushy, but at least we are improving. We have to be fair also, you know. But for the tweet of Benjamin, you said what's the benefit and what's the cons. Okay, so this tweet you say is gonna be cringe for how many, what's the population of MultiversX haters? It's not a lot. Now, same time, what's the benefit of that could occur? Maybe some people that doesn't know MultiversX will be interested. So the way I see it is doing it so that other people just understand what is MultiversX and get curious about it. That's how I see it. So I think it's not the best way to do it, but it's a way to at least have outreach. That's how I see it.
Thank you very much. And I can see that I am minoritary. Can we say this in English? Minority?
I am the minority, yeah.
I mean, in the end,
In the
GRM,
minority.
it is just a tweet.
Yeah, no, it's so. You know what? I think there is no detail. So it's not just a tweet; it's a tweet. But okay, I am a minority here, so you guys think it brings more than the opposite, and that's
Yeah.
why. And really, I understand this, and that's why I love this kind of a space, because we disagree on things, and that's how the community can make their own opinion. And feel free on the comment, of course, to tell us about what you think about this way of communicating. It's the end of the show. It was intense, like it was supposed to be. Thank you very much, guys, for
GRM,
yeah.
could I just say a few things about you had a topic that we didn't cover. I know it was a bit stretch, but I would like to about the community being super tensed right now.
I did not decided to remove it, but
Yes.
feel like we spoke about it a little bit with XOXNO High, and because we are out of time. But if you guys want to take 15 more minutes to speak about the different tensions within the community, especially with maximalist big whales that are starting to complain on Twitter, let's do it. No problem. And if you want to start, Arno, let's do it.
I want to start because I was reflecting about this, and two things came out. First of all, let's recognize that we are in extreme market pain. If we only talk about the EGLD token, obviously it has been painful. There's no denying this. But while it's painful, it is an opportunity. Before this bear market, I'm here talking personally, I had an average entry price of $115 on EGLD. Now I brought it down to 27. I believe that loads of people in the community are behaving with a lack of perspective regarding MultiversX, because we are looking at blockchains like Solana, like Avalanche, like major layer 2s that, a company like Avalanche has raised $600 million. It's just to add some perspective. MultiversX, with its infrastructure, its tech infrastructure, is globally ahead technologically than most blockchains, although it has raised less money than Hatom. Just so we can put this in perspective. So the last few days, MultiversX daily unique active addresses had more active addresses than Avalanche. A layer 2 like Starknet that raised over $200 million has 5K active addresses. MultiversX has 40K right now on average. So a layer 2 like Arbitrum, that is one of the most used, has an average of between 70 and 80K. We need to understand that we have to put things in perspective. Yes, the token is not mooning like everybody would like, but it doesn't mean that the ecosystem is not going into the right direction considering its size. The DeFi is, as we talked about, the core foundation of any blockchain ecosystem. And our blockchain ecosystem, our DeFi ecosystem is about to 100x with everything that is coming right now. It's going to change everything. We have cool things for us. We actually do have a relevant user base on MultiversX. And what you read on X is not the reflection of metrics that are actually, compared to the resources that this ecosystem have, very good. So please keep some perspective. I know it's painful for everybody, it's painful, but out of respect for builders who are busting their ass to make this ecosystem grow, whenever you go on X and you see that people are just in a bad mood, keep in mind that this ecosystem is not going anywhere in the next year or 2 years. It is built to last, and we are going somewhere. So if we manage to transform this 40K into 45K, 50K, 60K, it's already, we're bigger than Avalanche daily. So, keep your spirits up. There are loads of people building.
Okay.
Yes, it's not the same as Solana, of course.
Thank you,
but-
Arno. I think
Yeah.
we got it. Joaquim?
Yeah, I just want to bounce on a few things Arno said, because, well, I agree with the whole message, and as you say, I think divisive content is more prone and easier to see, and obviously you tweet more when you're unhappy with something than when you're happy with something. So social medias in general have this kind of like negatively echo chamber. It has been proven, but the part of like, I don't think we can put everything on price actions, because I do believe there are and I know there are builders that don't care about the price action, and that are care about protocol updates, care about stuff that like has been delayed, etc. So there are stuff like, probably a minority, but there is also stuff that are independent of the price action. And on the funds raised part, I think it's a very, very fair point, and I think you're right. It's incredible what they've managed to do with the funds raised. But there's that second part still that like, that's not the whole runway. Like, it's not they'd raised their money. That is, they've run massive validators. They had the majority of validators. We had 25% APR for many years. Like, they were printing EGLD literally, and EGLD was and has been valued quite a lot. And obviously, even at this price today, is still a lot, because it was free. I'm quoting free for them. So like, well, I agree with it. I would actually find it very interesting to compare the different foundations and different labs of the different chains, and see how much they generate in income on the tokens they got given at Genesis. And I think that would be and maybe still MultiversX would probably still be the lowest
But they
one,
would be the
but I
lowest
think
one
it is
because they
important
fucked
to
up.
add that.
And this is no denying it. They fucked up because at some point they had a big fundraising on the table and they didn't close it. And that's, Lucian Minko is talking about it in one of the podcasts. And they fucked up second time when they could have cashed out loads of money when EGLD was around 300, 400. And they didn't. Whereas other foundations do,
Yeah, but I feel like that is the complicated one, because obviously they would be a massive selling power. The reality, obviously, we had we kind of derailed a bit the topic.
About
so this
tensions
is anyway,
and maybe what makes the community divide, and the new people that we are not used to, that are starting to, let's say, FUD if we don't want to think, but if we want to think, to complain and to reveal things. For example, yesterday, Coco revealed something I knew, but I was not supposed to say before, about how the foundation gave them up with the Polygon bridge. A few days before, they spoke about the problems between bHero and XOXNO, but we can mention XOXNO with bHero. So these elements were known by a few, and they are more and more known and more published on X. And why? And so that's what I would like to speak. I have a take on this. I will keep it for after. But Joaquim, if you want to finish about it, thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think we're doing yourself a disservice. But I think that there is a problem, is that we've come to realize, builders, users, etc., that where we're being listened to the most is the public space called Twitter or X. And that is a shame, in a sense that we could use X as this extremely strong marketing tool. So when new people come to MultiversX, to discover MultiversX, they don't see people fighting each other constantly, as we have a tendency to do. So that with Vinny Barbosa, I think he's called, from South America, he discovered MultiversX, or started getting active on MultiversX on socials not so long ago. It was like, what the hell is happening here? Like, I love the tech, I love everything, but like, why is everything? And so I do wish, like, it's the, I think the French expression, you do your dirty laundry in family. I wish we had a bit more open communications and healthy communications in channels, a bit like, as you said, like the frustration that Coco was feeling towards the foundation, etc. Those were obviously in private groups. So it's kind of like a ticking bomb that people get frustrated because they're not going anywhere.
You know how this private group leads to. You are
yeah, I'm probably in like 6 different groups with different, but that's what I'm saying is, like, I think if there was a more open communication, and that's why, like, I was looking at the chains, like the fact that, like, give that feeling that we are all builders, the core team, regular builders, we're all on the same level, and all we want is to bring adoption to this chain and to our products, obviously, and we need to fight and die on that hill if needed be. And I feel like that is a mindset where we've gone a bit more individualistic, sadly, on MultiversX, and probably because indirectly we started that way by the fact that the core team did their own products, people did things in their corner, etc. And I think, like, this kind of like snowballed into this frustration we have today. Plus, probably some actors that didn't act in the best interest of everyone. There's no doubt about that. But
really?
like, yeah, I'm talking about you here. I'm kidding. So yeah. I think it's a question about where we're having those conversations, and I think we're shooting ourselves in the foot by having them so often on a public space like Twitter. I think once in a while to clear the dust, to start again, but I feel like we drag it on for so long, and yeah, we're not having much fun on Twitter, honestly.
But we have the two worst communities, French and Romanian.
No, we are
Those are the worst,
Oh,
man.
we are the best. We are
No,
just
we're the worst, man.
No,
The worst.
different. You don't like difference. That's it. So
No, we're the worst. Obviously, we're the worst.
No,
French
actually-
people and Romanian people, they are some of the most depressing people on earth. Always complaining.
Come on, we
It's
know how
terrible.
to party at least.
it's an interesting,
Yeah, we know how to party. Yeah.
it's interesting to try to psychotrize the enemies. Some dead before in the past, but I think it's not just about being depressed or being just things. Some things must be said, but fortunately, Arno, don't worry. 90 or even 95% of the MultiversX community on X is bullish, maximalist, and so on. I can prove it. So don't worry. Just a few of the community, French and Romania, are sometimes complaining. I would like to say that some people say that people like me create the problem. We would create divisions. Other things that it's just a matter of price. Remember, Arno, we had this discussion before many times. Like when EGLD will be $100, or I don't know, problem will be solved. Nobody will complain anymore. And we disagree on this, but for now, we can't tell.
Yeah, but I can tell you, if EGLD is at 150, everybody will feel like they're flying out of their homes.
You will see.
I'm more on GRM side on this one.
No, but you can.
Let me finish, and of course, you can answer after. I think that's avoiding the problems, because this feeling, these complaints are shared by many builders, many members of the community, and it's just that the word is more and more getting out, because resilience has its limits. For me, the problems stem for 4 different factual issues. Not about GRM, not about Vortex, who made a post saying that he's fed up with Benjamin communication, not about Berzilla, who is fudding sometimes, not about those.
Are you reading a script you prepared?
Yes, I wrote. And I will.
This dude, come on!
You know what?
Why did I give you the mic? This is my responsibility.
I assume, because I want to be straight away and I don't want to speak. And I'm French and English is not my native language, and I want to be clear. So I wrote. So first of all, Beni's communication, and more generally, the lack of communication from the other team members, except Robert, who holds the community, in my opinion. So lower your expectation, countdowns, trips to the USA, all these sequences. You can laugh. You can say it's just tweet, but it's not. Second, the failed roadmap of the last 3 years, the canceled products, the broken promises, all of this, it's not about GRM, it's facts. Last, the toxicity, I bounce off what Joaquim said, of certain players who accumulate low blows and threats and so on. And the fourth is the chain's factual lack of results, volume, adoption, whereas they promise.
Still doing better than Avalanche on adoption, but
honestly, I don't know Avalanche as much as I know MultiversX. So I'm not talking.
When you say lack of adoption, you need to compare it with actual metrics.
I can compare it to other blockchains like Sui, like Base.
Okay,
like
so you're comparing to the things that are the most shiny objects in the space right now.
Yes.
It makes no sense, GRM.
It makes
no sense.
Yes, because
you're literally comparing apples and oranges. Literally.
Yes, but I am comparing the factual adoption with what promises at the beginning. We all came to Elrond because they wanted to onboard the next billion user. So far, and after 3 or 4 years, and the bull run started 1 year ago. We have no new builder, no new member of the community. So you can compare with the worst. I compare it with the best. And the thing is, each his own. Just to finish, and after I will let you enter and say what you want. Really, we have time. So we can bury our heads in the sand, and for everyone's sanity. It's about that. People are blocking me for their mental health. Okay? Even xPortal, the official account of xPortal, blocked me. It's not just about person, it's about company blocking a guy. So anyway, I think more and more people will speak. And now, Arno, because of what's happening with XOXNO Hatom is in the middle of trouble. When it touches you, you need to speak. When it doesn't touch you, you can say, okay, let's not talk about problem. Let's not talk about toxicity. I think it's better to settle things in private. When it touches you, you have to say something. So the problem is not the one who speaks about the problem. It's about the problems themselves. That's my point. Maybe it was a little long. Sorry for that. I give you the mic to answer me. Or say your opinion about the tensions more in general.
Yeah, if I can jump, because I agree with a lot of things that you said. I think a lot of people here will say it, and a lot of people in the audience also. But in fact, we group all the fail that happened over the last 3 years, and I think it's something that always poses problem. I think in Europe, is like you cannot fail if you don't try. And I think MultiversX try a lot, and that will be a first phase. I have another point more, but I think MultiversX is doing a lot of things. They maybe make announcements too early. That's probably their big mistakes, I think, because they need to build and then make the announcement. That's ideally how I do it. But unfortunately, we are in a world where you need to shout out, you need to talk, you need to tweet every day. And unfortunately, as you are watching all the thread every day, you notice a problem like that. So that's true. There have been announcements that have not been done. Xword, Xfabric, there's tons of them. But I think for example, I joined Elrond MultiversX for the sovereign shard. At the time, it was called like that. So the thing is like, either you have a chain that focus on what is the trends today. And I think that's the mistake that they did the last years, is trying to reproduce like the meme period, all the trends that were going on Solana, try to follow them. While in fact, MultiversX, for me, is positioned as an industrial chain. So that means that what they want to do with the settlement really fast, with the possibility to deploy your own chain, is that companies, institutions, like group, whatsoever, can deploy their own private chain directly at home on a server. And the thing is, like, you need to understand that this technology is hard to sell to the public, I think. That's why I see Robert struggling so hard trying to explain these things, because you try to explain a technology that will solve an organization or an institutional program to a guy that just want to have his meme coin making 100. And I think right now, this world, in fact, the community, the Web3 community, have a hard time to understand what are the objectives of MultiversX in the long term. Is not to be a chain that people like trade meme coin, and even if it can, that's not the problem. But they want to become a technological reference to deploy, in fact, private blockchain for entities. Voilà. And I think that's where you have really like two sides of MultiversX, the builders and the thing that kind of see that, and the investors that just like look at their wallet and don't understand what's happening behind.
Thank you, Philippe. Arno, maybe you want to precise or add some context to what I said, or maybe you want to add anything.
Perception is as important as execution. And when Joaquim acknowledges that we're doing ourselves a disservice, I agree with him 100%. It doesn't mean that we put on blinders on everything. It just means that when you stop being excited for good news because you are so biased that you're looking for every opportunity to look for the bad things, then everything becomes bitter and excitement gets lost and trust is lost and it is a down spiral. And I do believe that this has a big impact on MultiverseX ecosystems growth, on EGLD's growth, because we can say whatever we want. I also believe that it is a curse for this industry, but the speculative part of it, the will of everybody to extract value for themselves, is at the core of this industry. And yeah, I'm not putting on blinders. I'm just saying that, you know, the energy, the ambient energy is actually a lot more important than we can think of. So I would love to have a community, to have leaders that show excitement, that show support when other builders are busting their asses to push things outside to create more value.
And
100%.
we have these leaders. You're one of them, Arno.
Yeah, but
Web 3.4.5, I mean,
But-
you don't forget.
but yeah.
And
Yeah, I've personally, for example, this is going to be a bit of a coming out, but I've been less active on X and talkative because this ambient is really affecting me, and I am just seeing, you know, everybody so affected, and to be honest, it doesn't always make sense. So I really, when I read through the lines, I see that everybody is affected because of the EGLD price, because this is a great, you can say it's not the only thing, but it is the great catalyst. I like what Matt from La Banane said 2 days ago when he showed, he rebounded on top of Meteora's last protocol update, saying, this is Web3. The Web3 I love, the Web3 where you don't give a fuck about your marketing being good because your token is doing good, because, you know, the communication that they have put out for such a bigger protocol is super sloppy. If MultiverseX or a protocol like Hatom did a communication like this today, in the state of today, huge GRM, you would create PowerPoint presentations and spaces to trash them. So I really believe that the impact of EGLD's price is the great catalyst for all this, because, you know, when price is up, you're the most beautiful, you're the strongest, etc., etc. So yeah, if we want the price to go up, we need to be supportive, excited, use the products, smile a bit.
I also
Good to
disagree.
smile.
Sorry, Arno. I disagree. I don't think this is the price action. We have to be factual, and I think GRM is right. There was a lack of.
GRM doesn't have EGLD, for fuck's sake.
No, but
He can't talk about this. He has free GLD.
No, but he's right, man. The communication was pretty bad, and hopefully we had Robert to be here to support us. But the main issue, and I think it was, I want to also mention what Joaquim and Philippe said. The company was they wanted to do too many things. They wanted to be like the Apple, like we have the feeling like, oh, it's going to be like Apple. We're going to do everything ourselves. We don't need the others. And this mentality affects in the medium term what happened after. And the communication is improving. I can see it, but it's a major issue. And you cannot say, even if the price was 300, 400, if builders struggle just to have simple information or have updates, it doesn't, to be honest, it doesn't matter. The price doesn't have an effect on this. If you want to build and you want to know where we are and you don't have a clear answer, it doesn't matter. The price doesn't matter in here. So I think, but what is good is it can be fixed easily. Like they just need to figure out how to have a proper way of communicating with people. It's not like we don't need to have 5 PhD guys to answer this, right? We can do it.
It's interesting. It's interesting because indeed, Lucid, it's easier to improve the communication and to solve problems one by one internally than to make EGLD go to 150. So that's the optimistic way I see things. So that's why I keep fighting for this. But about X, Arno, and you are right. I understand that being on X can maybe make your convictions or maybe make your mental health make it maybe, comment on dit en français, en anglais, tu sais, ça le fait un peu vibrer, tu vois, ça peut bousculer un peu, bousculer. Can someone help me?
It can shake things up, can shake your
Yes, I understand this. And I have no empathy. That's something that I have to assume. I have no empathy. I can debate for hours with someone and it will not affect me. That's the way I am. And that's why many people told me, but how can you do this? I mean, you have hundreds of people saying that you're a father and so on. How can you keep on doing this? Because it doesn't affect me. Only fact affects me. So I think X is like speculation. In my opinion, you're glad, you're happy when it goes your way. But when it doesn't, it goes to the other way, you complain. It's the same on X. You are happy when it praises your project, but when it's about criticize, you complain. Some are leaving X now in France, for example, because to them it's not the way they would like to see it. So I think we have to go beyond our personal interest, our EGLD bag, because Arno, I can have 3 EGLD or I can have 3,000. Doesn't change anything.
I actually disagree with that. But you say your personal interest is, but like your bag is not your only personal interest. For example, your interactions, your followers, your relevance is your personal interest.
No,
yeah, of course it is.
No,
you exist through your followers.
In one sentence, trust me, I tried. I would have more followers and I make more impressions when I do something like bullish as fuck on MultiversX by people saying, you're right, yeah, and so on, than today. I'm blocked by many people. So no, I would be more influent and I would, you can't imagine how many partnerships I had before on MultiversX, contract, advisory, promotion, when I was like bullish maximalist on EGLD. So no, I lost a lot by this. So it's not that simple, really.
But from your description, you're a martyr. Everything you do every day, you connect yourself to Twitter. Everything we do is for personal gain. It doesn't need to be financial, but like you do something because it brings you something.
You know what it brings me?
Tell me.
Really, and it's factual. Some private messages from people telling, thank you for saying. This is the only thing I get from this. It would be easier for me to get some grant, some money, some support, some followers from the core team, from the foundation, from all of this, if I was an ideal demand and so on.
At some point, GRM, the only thing that annoys me in all of this is that we are losing our force of growth. Being constructive
We lost
for
it
feedback.
with the rebranding. We lost it with the countdown. We lost it with the communication. We lost it with all the projects that were canceled from the roadmap. Brother, please address the real problems and not the consequences of the problem. Just for a minute. Think outside the box. This is what they say.
I mean, what you're talking about makes no sense. What do you want to do? Rebrand?
No,
again?
It's
so
not
it's done.
That.
It's done. So how do we improve it? How do we build? How do we grow?
First,
instead of always pointing, negative. How do we grow?
No, because
that's the only thing that is interesting to me.
No.
You can,
it could be at the European Parliament, Jerome, at the end, pointing problem without solving them.
No.
Exactly. Someone like Davy is interesting because he points out problem in a constructive way, always with solutions, always with proposals. The problem is you are doing it in a French way, and it's fucking painful because it is not constructive. It is not. You're not behaving as a force of growth. And trust me, because you're saying trust me, bro. Trust me. Why you're losing followers, why you're getting blocked, is not because you're less smart than before. It's because you're not a force of growth. And at the end of the day, when you have an interest, whether it's because you like what's happening in this ecosystem, whether it's an interest that is economic, whether it's an interest because you're a builder or whatever, what you want is to see growth. This is the only way out of all of this. And when you say, but we have lost it because of this, that, and that, it's not a way to grow. It is a way to say, look, everything is destroyed. What do we do now?
No, it's a way to answer you. Just a way to answer you. I haven't spoken about the rebranding for months, but it's a way to answer you. You say, because of you, not just GRM, I think, but because of you, we are lack of growth. And I'm answering that the growth stopped with the rebranding and with all the problems that I mentioned before.
It's not true. Look at on-chain metrics. Since the rebranding, TVL has grown.
TVL is not about MultiversX. It's about Hatom, and you know it. But we don't.
Yeah, meaning that we need to escape from the fact and get away from the fact that MultiversX has to build everything. This is also one of the big problems in this space, and we were addressing it maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half ago on this show, and we were all in agreement on this. I remember this conversation saying, okay, this is the problem. They're building XPortal, XExchange, bam, 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 bam. Now we're seeing an ecosystem that is growing away from the foundation. It's brilliant. It's great.
That's where to jump in. I think like the growth games came way too late. Should have been launched a long time ago. But having this board of things we wished we had on this chain and giving grants to that is great. And I actually think they went a bit ahead of themselves by the sense that like they started with the first big grant they did was the sovereign chain grant, and like that is like basically asking someone to build a palace. No, start by asking someone to build a little shop, and then we can start about asking people to build palace, because it's going to be someone who's built 10 little shops that's going to say, okay, maybe now I'll build a palace. And so there's the incentive, like as you said, like everything has been built in-house at the very start, and it had a negative effect. And I see we have Davey now, so I'm going to shut up because I really love listening to Davey. So I'll stop here.
So firstly, I appreciate Arno going against French people. So that's something that is so great to see.
Yeah, because you're a football fan like me. It's good.
And to put some context on that, like I already said that my grandma lived in France for 30 years since she was 5. And my dad also was born in France, to put some context. So I totally understand the differences in culture between Italy and France. But I'm Italian, so don't offend me. But this is the context. And Yeah, like when I try to do things, I always start not from the desire to express myself, but starting from outcome. So what is the outcome that I want? And when I look at other people, everyone has different outcomes. So the outcome could be, I don't know, get engagement, get rich, make MultiversX bigger because of, I don't know, some crypto principles or founding values that we have in crypto. And so a lot of times it's about finding people that aligns with my preferred outcomes. Like, for example, I don't understand the reason why Mihai from XOXNO decided to handle this thing the way that he's handling that. So what is the outcome? At the moment, what he's doing, yeah, maybe he thinks that is his natural way of doing things. But starting from the preferred outcome, I think that the way that he's handling things can at max increase his slice of the pie. So what can he do? He maybe can make some people hate Hatom and get on XOXNO. And what is this going to achieve? Like, he's going to give a bitter slice of the current MultiversX pie. No one wins. We don't want a zero-sum game. We want to increase the cake. And a lot of people on MultiversX are not into the mindset of growing the cake. They're only like stressing it a lot on the current cake. And also some MultiversX team members, I can do some examples that I didn't like. For example, on Munich X Day, I saw Lucian saying that he didn't want RWA, so MultiversX, because he was scared that people would put money, so MultiversX asset into RWAs, and so dilute the positions of MultiversX ESTT assets. And that's a mentality that doesn't resonate with me. So even if this happens, and so people put money into RWAs with EGLD assets, even Atom tokens, even EGLD, what's the problem? You're growing the pie because you are making the chain attractive for people outside. Otherwise, if you make all based on the tokens that you have here, all based on the liquidity and users that you have on MultiversX, how are you going to grow the cake? It doesn't, like, I don't understand the strategy with that. Yeah, it's risky, but you need to take risks.
Thank you, Davey, for this. Just if I have a last question for you, Davey, because you just jumped and we have a very interesting discussion with Arno and the others, is about where comes the lack of growth of MultiversX? If you have maybe some inputs about that.
Like, I said this a lot to like to a lot of people. I talked about this a lot, and like as Arno said before, like I was eating, but as Arno said before, currently MultiversX is not that bad. If you look at metrics, at many metrics, yeah, it's not in the top 3, it's not in the top 5. If it was there, the price would reflect that. But we have ton of crypto ecosystems, ton of tokens that are valued more than MultiversX for us, like from a first view, no reason, but some reasons are there. The fact that is currently the space is not valued based on fundamentals and based on, let's say, for example, for TradFi metrics, is based also on speculation. And so you can't really compete with the wider crypto market if you don't master also that. In order to master that, you need not to speak to general audiences, but you need to come down to reality and realize that you are not speaking to users, you are speaking to investors. And so you need to calibrate your communication based on that. And the reason why I was so vocal against Benjamin not having some factually wrong communication with an investor, so with Vortex, is specifically for that. You are speaking to investors. Most of MultiversX users are EGLD investors, and so you need to optimize based on that. Like, there's an entire science on that, is investor relations, and you can actually improve on that. You can study that. And like crypto is different, but there are some things that you can learn from that. There's also some scientific research, like that I share with someone, like not you, yeah. But yeah, there is.
Okay. Does anyone want to have a final word about this topic or anything else, like Happy New Year or whatever?
I want to go work now. Let me go.
You've exhausted us, Jérôme.
Yeah, Jerome, export your archive on X, where we can create a bot for you, maybe.
Imagine an anti-GRM, like the opposite of what I would
I make Maxi MultiversX GRM account. I mean, like, so go on X, export your archive. It takes 24, 48 hours, and you can send it to me.
I prefer original than AI, but everyone is free to.
I mean, we can invite it on the space and see how you react, huh?
Would be. I have my anti-GRM. It's Arno, so that's why we're here.
Come on.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for coming this morning. 3 hours and a half to speak about so different topic. I hope you from the audience enjoyed, and you can make your own opinion and decision. That's how we think is the best for the ecosystem. See you at 3 p.m. UTC for an unfiltered AMA with Pale Network, the current X Launchpad. It will be live on X, YouTube, and Twitch, of course. See you next Wednesday for a new GM Web3 MultiversX with Arno and I don't know yet who, but there will be people with us, of course, like always. Take care of yourself. Arno, I love you. Davey, thanks again for coming. Joaquim, I love you.